As all of you are getting, well, varying rests, a text screen pops up in all of your dreams. You have reached the point of no return. If you continue past this point, you will be locked out of all other side quests and story content until you finish. Are you prepared to accept
No, I want to futz around some more.
this?
I got a lot of side quests that I put off till later.
No, we're not fully leveled up. Let's just grind and kill a bunch of slimes for like 50 hours.
Yeah,
I want to play I want to exploit the fishing mechanic.
That should be set for the UFO ending.
All right.
I want to do the glitch where I get past the final battle and just automatically win.
That glitch was patched out in the latest update.
Fuck!
I want to do the champion tournament so I can fight Sephiroth.
But I haven't saved enough little sisters to get the good ending yet. Oh wait.
Oh,
God damn it! The game bugged out. There's an achievement I can't get. I'm just gonna start over.
that happened to Mike actually.
I missed a commercial. Gonna need to restart the entire game. Thank God that fixed itself.
Or in the case of me with Cyberpunk. Wait, what do you mean the only way to get the best ending is to choose all the correct dialogue options in this one cutscene? I saved several hours past that. I'll lose all my progress.
Well, time to start again.
All right.
What's that?
All right.
Man clip. What's another
You finished the Phantom yet?
Not yet. I'm doing all the side quests. But anyway,
talk about how.
So, what are you doing? What am I doing? I'm doing nothing. Spoiling plans. What? No? Good, because that'd be bad. How bad? I'd have to kill you. That's bad, indeed. But in all seriousness, you guys talked to some dwarves who at first appeared normal, but then it turned out were possessed by Lady Bar, who was mentally controlling them. You managed to actually convince her to meet with you guys and talk, and then you agreed to something that might be disastrous later, it might not be, or it might have nothing to do with you. We'll see how that plays out. Oh, I updated the map, just so you all know. But yes, you actually got Lady Bar to agree with you and join your side in this coming final battle, which shocked even me. Then you ran back to the church because it was being attacked, and you killed two very powerful elven sorcerers, well, one sorceress and one sorcerer, without actually finding out anything about them. So you have no real idea who you killed or how important it is or how much it's going to piss Fen'Harel off.
They killed a lot of our NPCs. They deserved it.
Alright. So yes. After that, some of you got solo sessions. Some of you didn't really need solo sessions. And that brings us to now, where we start at the residence of Lita and Enzo. And yes, Enzo, they have actually tracked you down to your residence, because after looking at where you're supposed to be staying and not finding you there, people asked around and they found out where you were. Where we'll start. But you're both awoken by constant rapping on your doors, and upon answering, well, both of you get different guys, but they tell you the same thing. Field Marshal / Archbishop, we kind of need your help right now. There's this weird, strange woman with white hair, with this big, scary knight with her, and she's carrying the severed heads of Ethan Hawke and another sorceress. See, she says she's here to help. I know Ethan Hawke is like public enemy number one, and like that she killed him is a good thing, but she just looks evil. What do we do?
Give her tea.
You're not in charge of the church or the army. You don't get to make decisions in this matter.
Oh, sure, tea's outlawed.
That's up to Lita. But yes, what are the two of you going to do?
Or to one of the conference rooms.
Mm-hmm. And
Really?
summon the crew.
Really, Archbishop? You want to let her inside the church?
Amnesty
Why is everything moving so
is a word that exists in our vocabulary.
Okay. Okay.
Put a rotating guard unit of witch hunters outside the door once you get it in there.
Okay. Okay. Before we move on, Lita, what's your reaction to this?
Summon the party.
All right. All of you get identical messages from Lita ordering you to be summoned. Mm-hmm. Oh, typing out a private message?
No. I know to double check what the ingredients are for this because... Oh, wait.
Really, lemon?
Mm-hmm. So while you're double checking that, the rest of you all get identical messages summoning you back to the church on Temple Isle, where all of you are gathered into one of the meeting rooms, and in this meeting room with you is, of course, Lady Bar and Dante, who you guys summoned. There is Anderson and Oswin. There's Gabrielle's younger brother, Lord Lioncourt of the House of Lioncourts. There is also the witch hunter Tamara, and of all people, Madeline, the cleric girl who killed the devil in the last session. She's here too. If I forgot anyone, they'll.
Your apprentice.
If I forgot anyone, they'll join the meeting as I remember them. So you guys all gather together, and a map is laid out. And who's drawing on the map?
God.
But they just laid this out. They've been working on this for like the past 12 hours without sleep, and the first thing you guys do is draw on it.
How can you prove it was one of us? There's someone that's just invisible all the time.
Anaris!
I am standing right here.
Wait. Someone should change that dragon to Ragdor.
You mean Trogdor?
Chogdor, yes, thank you, Chogdor. That should be Chogdor.
So anyway, the map is laid out. Someone has very rudely drawn on it, and Lord Lioncourt puts his hands on the table, lets out a loud, exasperated sigh, and takes a deep breath, and begins. All right. I think we can all agree that what we're about to do will. If we are successful, will win us this war, or it will get us all killed. Because of that, we need to do this right, and we are going to need to do this right the first time. So, for the sake of clarity, and just so we're all on the same page, it would probably behoove us to go over the things that we know first, before we start talking about the things that we don't know and what we all need to do. So with that in mind, Oswin, at this, Oswin steps forward and points towards the bottom of the map where the elf encampment has been drawn out. He's like, right. So Anderson and I, and just as he's about to say that, the door opens and Jayson, Cereza rocking the severed arm like she's not bothered by it, although you can tell she really is.
Hold on. Rocking the severed arm as if she's missing an arm or she's carrying her severed arm?
No, she's missing the arm.
Okay, just making sure.
Carrying the severed arm, carrying your own severed arm with you would just be weird.
That'd be metal. That'd be metal.
But no, she's not doing that. She's pretending like it doesn't bother her. But literally as soon as Cereza walks in, Osmond shuts up and is like, Anderson, Cereza, and I have been going over what we believe the elf encampment looks like based on our very brief experience there. Now, the first thing we all need to be aware of is that just behind the river of holy water we created, their defensive line is made up entirely of devils. And as we all are very much aware, devils do not sleep, they do not take breaks, and they have very keen and very watchful eyes. So getting past them, if at all, will be incredibly difficult. Beyond that, these two here, we've labeled them as watchtowers. However, in truth, we have no idea what their actual function is. They're not towers per se. They're like these tall spires of black crystal. We have seen devils go in and out of them like they're actual watchtowers, but we have no idea what their function is. And we really weren't there long enough to find out. Past that, down here, just on the edge of the store here, or what we can only assume. She's not saying anything right now. It's like, past the watchtowers on the ocean coast, we have the enemy barracks. I should also say that this might take up a lot of space because this is not just barracks. We can also assume this includes a medical facility, training facility, like pretty much anything and everything to make sure his troops are ready. And just south of the barracks are the hippogriff pens for quick access. It's like,
how many hippogriffs are left?
We have no idea. However, it would still be wise, regardless of the actual number, if we are to assault this base, to take out the hippogriff pens first, so that they will lose their aerial superiority. Fenrirel may still have his dragon, but if we're swarmed by hippogriffs, those are going to be very difficult to deal with while we're also fighting on the ground. It's like, actually, speaking of the dragon, Lioncourt pops up. I've thought of a solution for that, but I'll wait until you're finished. It's like, right. It's like, on the other side of the elf encampment that we could see is the ritual site that we disrupted when Anderson, Cereza, and I infiltrated the base. We don't know what it's being used for right now, but we can only assume that they're trying to restart that Fimbulwinter ritual that we disrupted when we captured their mage. Although whether or not they can actually perform that ritual without either of those two mages is beyond us. Now here in the middle, we have no idea what's there. We can only assume some type of command center, like maybe like some sort of like magic depot for mages, or like some kind of meeting room. Look, we have no idea. Like anything goes here. At this point, Samael steps in, and he adds to that. That is not all of the elf encampment. It actually extends past the land onto the lake that you people refer to as the Pontar. when the elves arrived here, they came in such great numbers that in order to cross the lake, they didn't so much travel in single file across this bit of land here. They froze the lake and just walked across it. Their encampment is actually built upon the ice as well. I cannot tell you what is exactly there because I could not see into the elf encampment, and this is a problem. Because if I could not see into the elf encampment, that means that there is something there blocking my senses, something that is much more dangerous than this Fen Harel. And that is not the only thing we have to deal with. The white-haired bitch, white-haired witch.
Kill us all, dude.
It's like speaks up and says. It's like I'm sure some of you have heard whisperings of that thing making whale noises in the sky. This is what we are dealing with, and she, using her magic, actually projects an image into all of your heads that looks kind of like the R2-D2 hologram projector, but in HD and in color, of this creature. What? Oh, I have to copy image address. There you go. But yeah, she projects an image into all of your heads of this creature. This thing is a creature from hell. If it has a proper name, I do not actually know it. However, common scripture, from what little there is, refers to it as, Samael cuts in, the Leviathan. One of the strongest devils in hell. At that point, Lita, Samael looks to you, and actually, Samael's mouth doesn't move. You hear this in your head, Lita, so it's only for you, as he says, This is also the creature that killed your mother.
Lita just goes, "White way!"
Yeah, it's just like... Mm-hmm. But yeah, the white-haired bitch, witch, continues, and is like, right. And he's like, Anderson is like, what? Why is that thing so dangerous? Why is that thing so dangerous? How is it different than the other devils? Because, if I might direct all of your attention back to the map, this right here on the map is the city of Sanctuary. This is the Leviathan.
Huh.
This is like... At that, Madeline looks up and is like, that can't be to scale. Actually, it is.
Huh.
So
Neat.
So we're still... This creature cannot actually be killed. It can be hurt, potentially, with holy weapons, but it cannot actually be killed. So it doesn't really matter what any of us throw at it. We're not going to be able to actually get rid of it by just us blowing it the fuck up.
What if we crash into the Holy Water River and drown it in it?
That's an idea, but I do not believe that will work either. The whole cannot
I don't believe
be
any of this will
killed...
work, but that doesn't mean we can't try it.
Even still, the whole cannot be killed option is very literal. And Temme speaks up. I can attest to this. That look, legions of Heaven's forces have tried to fight this thing. None have succeeded in actually taking it down.
And I'm trying to drown it in the Holy Water River.
What about banishing it back to hell?
Or maybe not, or maybe trapping it in the river. So maybe it won't drown, but be constantly suffering.
At that, Lady Bar actually moves the Leviathan back to the river, just like the thing is bigger than the river itself, as you can see. I don't know if we're going to be able to completely submerge it. as to the Archbishop's point, acting Archbishop, that is actually the only real way we can deal with this. We cannot kill it. However, there is a way that exists to banish it back to hell. Unfortunately, this creature being what it is, its willpower is so gargantuanly strong that an actual banishment spell will not work. What we need are specially crafted pythons that need to be hammered into its skin to enhance the effect of the spell and force a banishment. Like
Titans?
Like I figured you guys would have no idea what I was talking about. So you then watch as Lady Bar reaches into a bag that she is carrying. You were just pretty far into it, showing that it is a bag of holding, and she pulls out a meter-long iron spike that has all of these very intricate runes carved into it. For those of you who are versed in magic, may roll the relevant knowledge check for this. Yes, Rowan. It is runes. No one. Oh, okay. You did roll.
I don't have any magical knowledge checks.
That's fine.
Rune's bad.
Okay. Lita, you looking at this thing have absolutely no idea what it is.
Hold on. There you go. He was saying wait.
36.
I thought you were saying you rolled a natural 1. I'm sorry.
No, hold on.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Enzo, you've actually seen and heard of devices like this, being a part of the Church of Eternal Fire. They're mostly, from what your knowledge is, used for ritual magic, like not necessarily the kind of magic that you can just cast on the fly. This is like set up in a circle, like draw the correct runes. And in the middle of my explanation, Gabrielle walks into the room.
You were my marshmallow and you expect me.
Alright. What's up, Charlie?
Nothing much.
It's okay. We started the meeting without you. And actually, I'll say you just got here just in time. So as you enter the room, I would like you to roll a Knowledge Arcana check for me.
We got a monster hunter, the Leviathan.
Mm-hmm. Which is about the size of Godzilla.
It's bigger than Godzilla. Look at the man.
It's the size of the city.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gotta report. Where do I get this
unnatural 20.
Okay. So yeah, Gabrielle, just walking into the room, you have very little context for what's actually going on, but like you see this woman with white hair in a very elegant blue dress, which is weird because it's freezing cold outside, so she must be freezing her tits off in that thing. And standing next to her is... Do you remember that one session where that anti-paladin in black armor fought a samurai with a devil-possessed sword?
I do.
It's the anti-paladin. He's standing next to her. He is in the room with them now.
He's our best friend.
And he is not wearing his helmet, so you can actually see his face. It is Tom Hiddleston. Long-haired Tom Hiddleston. You believe with your knowledge of nobility that this guy is supposed to be Lord Dante Lysmith. However, he has been missing for months, and the party has made him public enemy number 1. But now he's here.
He's technically dead.
But anyway, on the table is this meter-long iron spike with all of these runes carved into it. And Gabrielle, based on your knowledge of magic, the various runes that you see carved into it are many different types of runes in different languages and like different types of magic. Like Lita, you recognize these too. You see like Olfiri runes. You see traditional Arcana runes. You even see runes in languages that you've never seen. Temme, he's like, because you actually possess the banishment spell, and because you used it so recently, you actually recognize that the placement of the runes and the spells they write out is that spell, and based on what she said it was meant to do, and that is that spell. This thing is meant to like enhance the effect of that spell. And Lita, this thing, because of a very unique set of knowledge that you possess, this thing is not natural. This is madman's knowledge. You do not get this sort of thing just by researching it in the book. You're muted.
That tracks.
Mm-hmm. So, but yes, Lady Bar continues. I'm just like, what we need to do is take these things, get on the beast, hammer it into its skin, and if we can get at least six of these, I'm hoping at least 6 of these, we should. I should be able to force a banishment spell upon it that should send it back to hell. There would be no possible way it could save against such a thing.
6 of these spears?
Yeah, yes. So basically what I'm saying is somebody is going to have to be stupid enough to actually get on that thing's back and hammer these things into it.
Who's the resident monster hunter of the group?
Dibs out.
Nope. Nose goes.
Alright, fine. You twist my arm.
If runes weren't involved, maybe. But there's runes, so hell no.
It's really hard to ride large animals in this dress.
How about someone who can fly and someone who can stick to any surface and working in tandem?
I think that someone who can stick to any surface already has a job.
If Anaris leaves her job, Rowan gonna die. Rowan don't want to die.
So I'm going to be on Leviathan duty, and everyone else has got to deal with the dragon and everything else. Because I can fly and I can stick to stuff with all my shit, but not very strong.
It is. Lord Lioncourt, after this explanation, actually, not Lord Anderson at this point actually speaks up and just like, if Fenrir has this thing, why didn't he use it in the war began? And Lady Barth that actually answers, I have no idea, but I can only assume that Fenrir is at least somewhat practical and doesn't want to rule over a ruin. Just thinking strategically, if he takes Sanctuary, he can use it as a staging ground to take the entire north. So, while he wants to kill all of us, I don't necessarily think he wants to destroy the city. This thing is just his, I guess you can call it, ultimate deterrent if everything else fails.
Like he keeps it up there, and then if things going bad for him, he just drops it.
Pretty much, yes. However, from what I understand, go ahead.
What's the failsafe on that? Is if I cut his head, if Anaris, stabs him in the throat and he can't talk, does he have some other way to call it down, or is it if he dies it comes down?
Samael answers this question. Your Fenrir does not control this beast. It is much too powerful for him. If something is in the elf encampment blocking my vision of it, and this thing is here, I had suspected and voiced this before that Fenrir must have made some sort of deal with the Lord of Hell to get this army. Fenrir cannot control this beast, but a Lord of Hell could, which means it is here. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If we kill him, what happens to the thing?
That's funny. That's funny that you believe that you can kill a Lord of Hell.
I wasn't talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
How about her? Points to the nose.
This is like, I do not believe dealing with this Lord of Hell will be necessary. if Fen-Harel is defeated and this army is defeated, the most likely outcome is that whoever this Lord of Hell is will simply retreat back to Hell as Fen-Harel will no longer be able to fulfill the deal he made with him, as he will no longer be living.
So he's got that kind of deal going on.
Exactly. Fen-Harel wants the human world destroyed. He still has to do the work, but the Lord of Hell is providing the means by which he can do it.
Jason's asking, do we know what the Lord of Hell is getting out of this deal? Or is that still a mystery?
That is very much still a mystery. However, if you would like to answer that in character, there are characters here who might be able to answer that question.
Then Rowan asked that same question.
Lita, Gabrielle, and Enzo, I would like all of you to roll a knowledge religion check if you have that. Gabrielle, like any kind, if you don't have knowledge religion, any kind of related knowledge check will also work.
Out of character, it's blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne all the way. So it's thousands of gems and skulls.
Not exactly, but you're on the right track.
That's when I got suspicious about this Lord of Hell.
That's when I realized this Lord of Hell
Calling the station from the Paleozoic era.
You're a damn
because the Loch Ness monster is traditionally a plesiosaur, which is not a crustacean, but whatever.
I know, but it's just what I love how it's just.
It's funny, yeah.
He changes it up each time he tells it what it is and what era it's from.
It was from this town. Yeah.
He says Paleolithic, and then he also says Mesozoic era.
Mesozoic, yeah.
But yes, Gabrielle, you have no real idea. For Enzo and Lita, it's not obvious at first what a Lord of Hell would get out of a deal like this, especially since this does seem like just genocide. But Lita, it occurs to you first. Fen-Harel wants to kill all humans and every other race that's not an elf. All of those races, all of those creatures have souls. And assuming Fen-Harel kills them all, where are most of those souls going to go? And yes, like a few might go to the other side, but the majority of them who are assholes and not religious, or at the very least from conflicting religions, where are they going to go? So yes, that's what a Lord of Hell gets out of this. Fen-Harel does all of the work, but the Lord of Hell reaps all of the rewards in the long run because he gets a much bigger army.
That makes sense. Oh, you didn't say anything yet.
No.
Essentially, yes, he's Quan Chiing this conflict. He's like, so, Lady Bar speaks back up. So it seems to me that we have four major things we have to deal with: Fen-Harel, his dragon, the Leviathan, and the actual elf encampment itself, where we should start with the hippogriff pens. Where should we begin with that? Actually, I have a suggestion. Lord Lioncourt speaks back up again. Burchill, you and Horace are going to be fighting the dragon, right?
That's the plan.
Well, we may have figured out a solution to our whole dragon ballistas are not mobile thing. That weapon of yours, the one that fires the spiked chain, may I see it for a moment?
Sure. I hand him Beat Scorpion.
Ooh,
all right.
Butterfingers just drops it on the map.
All right. He takes it and is very careful with handling it, and he actually is smart enough to point it at his face. To not point at his face. Is like, okay, this actually would work. So if my math is correct, if Dr. Fritz here is going to give you and Horace potions that will increase your size, we might be able to modify one of the ballistas that we've made to fire from this gun. So essentially, what you'll have to do is you'll shoot the dragon. You and Horace can then drag it back down to the ground, and then we can show up and finish it off and truly ground it. You lead it to our trap. We'll take care of the rest.
All right.
Yeah. Plus, if you're holding on to this thing, I imagine it would be much easier to deal with. And Burchill, the House of Lioncourt has come from a long lineage of dragon slayers. This weapon, he basically just takes from his back Ornstein's spear and shows it to him. According to our family history, was used to slay many dragons. Robert Burchill, it would be an honor to slay this beast with you by your side.
Sure, knock yourself out.
Like, in that case, I'm gonna be bringing my 3 friends, if that's not a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely appreciate help dealing with a fucking dragon.
Mm-hmm. It was like we're going to need help. Okay, so yeah, Burchill is dealing with Escaflowne, as is already in my notes. So that deals with everything you guys already know. The table is open. What do you guys want to deal with first, or what do you want to discuss first?
Well, I had a character. I think the monster hunter should go on the monster.
Yes, Lita.
I have a question. They gave us back Kat Denning's head, correct?
Yeah,
They did. Yes.
Hey!
Mm-hmm. Do you want to ask it questions?
Sorry, I'll bust down the door.
Oh no.
I mean, we've got the heads of 3 archmages and our spy.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, she technically would have an idea what that unknown circle is.
Yeah, but
In theory, yes.
Want that in public?
This isn't public.
Yeah.
This is the highest order of magnitude of officials that we can get without actually bringing in kings.
Right there.
Yeah.
I would also like to point out that you guys have an anti-paladin sitting literally in a church. Just think about that. An anti-paladin in a church.
I didn't even
So,
I was wondering why he's on fire.
We have a resident anti-paladin.
Look, we can't get into any worse trouble than we have already. We're already there's already a chance we're going to get court-martialed.
Truck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In for a penny, in for a truck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We're really betting on the fact. We're really betting on the fact that when this is all over, we can't get in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. We were really banking on the fact that we
just take off his skin and just be and just show up in bad form. It'll be fine at this meeting and it won't freak anybody out.
look.
I'm imagining you show up like that. The core party, Gabrielle, Burchill, Lita, Enzo, Rowan, the rest of the Anaris, we're gonna be super chill and hey Nox, meet everybody else.
Hands, like imagine he's just in a Hawaiian t-shirt and sandals, like, hey guys.
Oh god!
I feel like this needs to happen now.
Maybe later.
Well, there's one also.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got their heads. Let's mimir these fuckers.
Okay, just
For those of you who've never played the new games, Helios.
so wait. I have a question. As a DM, do you actually want to bring these heads back to life the same way you did that skull in the beginning of the game, or do you actually want to use that spell that allows you to ask questions of the dead?
Well, if we reanimate the skull, we can ask it as many questions as we want.
Yeah,
yes,
but then she'll be in
will,
like horrible pain.
Not only will she be in horrible pain, but like say if you do this to the Elven Sorceress, that will also resurrect her personality, which depending on the spell she uses might also bring back her ability to cast magic.
Ew.
Hammer.
Wait.
Like,
You said
That's never hands. If that Severed casts a spell, I will cast Hammer on that thing.
Wait. Just use Speak with Dead.
Yeah.
The spell's actually so busted. You can ask one question per 2 caster levels. What level are we?
Yeah. I don't have Speak with Dead.
Just find a cleric who does.
All right.
At that, Madeline speaks up. I can do that.
Excellent.
Child,
However,
Alright, criminal.
actually, Lita goes, excellent. However, the whole pain thing, and we do have the skull of Ethan Hawke, and he did impersonate my husband, so...
Well, what's he gonna know?
No, minor correction. Ethan Hawke did not... Actually, no, he did impersonate your husband in an earlier solo session.
He did.
Oh my god,
he did impersonate my husband, and the spell, and reanimating his skull would cause him to be in extreme amounts of pain, and Lita has no respect for him. So...
Is that purpose that serve wasting a spell slot right now, though? Like, he has no information we don't know already.
It would make me feel better.
You know what would make you feel better? Save your slot in case something unexpected happens.
A battle today. That's tomorrow.
You never know. What if, like, someone breaks in right now?
We all just casually look at the door.
We don't wait 5 seconds. It's like, oh thank god. Alright, anyway.
Alright, how about we wait to cause Ethan pain until after the war?
Fair enough.
Alright.
But
yes, to reiterate what if you do resurrect the skulls the same way you did before, like depending on like the components necessary to cast that spell, if it's verbal only, they might still be able to use magic.
I know you'd
speak with dead.
Yeah. All right, so we'll just speak with dead with our spy's head.
Okay, so
because if we speak with them, they'll still be unfriendly to us because we're their enemies.
all right. Do you want to do that now in the middle of this meeting, or do you want to wait until after the meeting is over?
Well, we need to know what
meeting, right?
Yeah, we need to know what's in that unknown part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So tactfully present this, or because what's her name already agreed, right?
All right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Leah.
At this, Anderson sends for a cleric messenger to go down to the morgue and recover the severed head of Aerith. Seeing as how she was an elf and not a member of the church, she was not burned in that mass funeral. So the head is brought up in a box. The box is opened, and let me see what her caster level is, as Madeline is going to be the one casting this. Okay, where is the here are all the stats.
Question per level or 2 questions per level?
It's 1 question per 2 levels.
Okay.
She's level like she had.
She had Slay Living. Madeline is unfortunately level 10, so as per the traditional use of the spell, you guys have 5 questions. So,
fair enough.
So yes, you want the head is presented.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah. It's like the head is presented. Madeline takes out her holy symbol, mutters a prayer to the creator, and then suddenly the severed head. Yes, it does cough.
Okay.
She was like, okay, you guys have 5 questions.
She's very calm about this.
Yeah, I'm going to ask all the wrong questions. So, someone who actually knows the great questions to ask, go ahead and ask.
Alright, also the rules of Honor Among Thieves apply, so be careful if you ask any questions.
Lita, okay, just full tilt. You all watch this. Lita walks over to the severed head in the box. Lita picks up the head, and then angles her towards the map. And then with another hand, Lita takes out her wings, and with one of her wings, points at the spot on the map that says unknown and says, "Do you know what is in this area?"
Many things. Fenharel's personal quarters. It's like meeting rooms. Camps for camps for the leadership, and of all things, a magically created hot spring. You
Motherfucker is 6 episodes of gunning this war. God damn it!
It's like, actually, the head does say, you try running an army in a place that's perpetually cold forever.
You know, if we survive this, I think we should create our own hot spring.
That's actually not difficult to
That
do.
might be-
And we can use the holy water to rejuvenate everybody who uses it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we'll charge them $1.50 every time they use it.
Also,
We'll be rich.
We know what we're fighting for now.
There was a door that none of the common soldiers were allowed to even approach. I don't know what's behind the door.
Hmm.
I was wondering that actually brings up. This actually brings up one of my main concerns. Lita, the Scarlet Knights are going to be coming in from the rear to cut off their retreat. While I have no doubt that's going to work, my fear is that some of the more important officers and mages in Fenrirel's court will try to escape using magic, not necessarily any physical means. So we'll need some way to prevent that.
Well, Lita has an idea. But I'm not going to say it, but...
Mm-hmm.
You were saying, Temme?
No,
I
was thinking out loud. Was either we either stick some witch hunters that are more magically inclined, or we stick some wizards with them.
You know, clerics of the Church of Eternal Fire are trained to nullify magic. All they have to do is know what magic they're nullifying and be in the right place.
Yeah, but I can't really spare the clerics to do that. Well, I need them primarily on healing duty.
We could give
Yeah.
them spell magic bombs.
That too.
All right.
Also, Lita can think of at least... Lita can at least think of at least one wizard and one cleric that she could use.
Oh no. Just because I've been doing this the entire time.
Earn your halo, Enzo.
Fine.
But yeah,
It sits on the horns.
Enzo's also going to make the hippogriffs eat each other.
No!
I mean, if you want to send Enzo into the hippogriff,
Yeah! Yeah!
I didn't sleep for 3 weeks after that!
I saw that spell. Oh, yes. 7th level. Mass hunger of flesh. The
There we
target
go.
multiple creatures.
There we go! You just target the hippogriff riders and the hippogriffs.
And then have none of our allies within a mile of them.
it's like actually at that Madeline speaks back up. I have a suggestion about that. You said Osmond, you said that this barrier does what? As well, when we approached it let people through. It didn't let any spells or cannonballs through. This is like, however, since we managed to successfully infiltrate it the first time, we don't know if they've corrected their mistakes. Would they let an elf through the barrier? Where are you going with this? I have one of my adventuring partners who's actually still here in the city has a friend who's been fighting with us who is an elf. If they let her through the barrier, they might be able to let me and Enzo and him in too.
I can disguise myself and other people also.
Also,
That-
out of character, I could literally turn you into elves.
Well, it's like as much as a disguise would work, I think the defensive line is entirely made up of devils who can probably see through that sort of thing, and a lot of these elves are trained magic users, as we've seen. So I'm not entirely sure an illusion would be that effective. Also, this is a magically created barrier, so it probably works on automatic, right, Osmond? I would assume so. Yes.
So wait, out of character, this thing eats magic?
What'd you say, Grant?
So out of character, this thing eats magic, this barrier?
No. From what Osmond and Anderson know, the barrier allows people to pass through, but not spells or objects like cannonballs. This is why Admiral Trevelyan's naval bombardments haven't been as effective as they should be in recent days. But that being said, since Osmond and Anderson did successfully make it into the base the last time, they don't know if they've corrected their mistakes since then. This is why Madeline has suggested maybe they'll let an elf through. Since you do have an adventuring party in your army that does include an elf.
Lita,
why don't we ask the head? She might know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's in objects.
Yeah.
However,
I mean, if the objects are attached to people, like if they're carrying a sword, that can go through.
I think they mean more like attacks. Like attacks is what it's blocking from.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, maybe you should ask Kat Dennings what she thinks about it, because she's been through that thing probably.
Mm-hmm.
What kinds of objects can pass through the barrier?
It's like, one, people pass through the barrier. Ones that are allowed in. Barriers based on magic spells that do similar things. And at that Osmond goes, Leomund's tiny hut. Of course it is.
That's a tiny hut.
No. It's not a literal tiny hut. It's basically a circle drawn that if you're an adventuring party, and if you could draw a circle around you that prevents anyone that you don't want from passing into it, that sounds incredibly useful, right?
Yeah.
This is the same thing, but on a larger scale. So, what they've essentially done is create a barrier surrounding the entire base, and the only things that can pass through are ones that they allow in.
So if you disrupt the circle, you disrupt the spell.
Essentially, yes. Aerith was already in the base, so she was the one who let us in. So in theory, if somebody lets your elf friend in, once she's through, she'll be able to let in the others. It's like this barrier is too massive and would require too much attention for one single person to let every single person in or out. So it must be whoever sees, and whoever's on guard duty has to decide who comes in and out. And once you're inside, the tower should be dealt with if a full-scale attack on the camp is to be attempted.
Well, here's the other thing. My thought:
Mm-hmm.
if this is a magic barrier, we get someone in who can dispel it.
Madeline raises her hand. Is like, me and Enzo can dispel it. We should be able to.
Out of character, John. The devils have what? Is that true sight they have or something?
Devils, much like Samael, who has heavily implied that she can do this. Higher ranking devils, especially, their base vision is true sight, so like they can see through illusions. They can see falsities.
Well, you know what they can't see through?
What?
True invisibility.
Is that a thing?
Yes, it's something I learned, and I can put it in potion form. Let me read the thing. Hold on, wait, here it goes. True invisibility. Okay. When you create an extract mutagen provides visibility, the target of the extract mutagen is also protected against all devices and spells that gather information about the target through divination magic, such as detect magic, locate creature, scrying, see invisibility, etc. For as long as the invisibility spell lasts.
Okay.
So they can't see this or detect it by magic, because for us, this isn't magic.
Well, that's great. So they won't be able to see the other characters approaching, but somebody is still going to have to let them in once they approach the barrier.
I know, but
Yeah.
getting to the barrier is the path first, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Also,
Mike, you're getting a bottle of this for sure.
also, Lolita been bringing this up. Also, if this is where their high command is, hey Knox.
Knox is in here. It's only Fritz.
Hey Fritz.
Yes.
Lita covers the ears of the elf of Kat Denning's head.
I see what you did.
Want to build a bomb?
Do you want to build a snowman?
Do you want to build a warhead?
Because my thought is, if we get the group of people to sneak in, they can basically get through the barrier. They can huck this thing into the area the high command tents are, and fucking rip them apart. And because in that chaos, they'll have to run out.
Is that such a thing? Being able to make a cluster bomb since I have all my munitions factory already cranking them out.
He's like, Osmond actually at this is going to speak up and just like, well, the good news is that assuming you somehow manage to get through the barrier, to maintain a spell of this size, there need to be multiple of these watchtowers. So there's probably at least in total 4 or 6. However, all of them need to be active and working to maintain the spell. So if you're able to disrupt or destroy one, that should be enough to shut down the barrier.
Well, Anaris has history of taking on tower solo, right?
She does.
So then, if we get in there, or somebody gets in there, can we give them a gate scroll?
Oh.
What?
And then have them open up to the cavalry behind them, and have the cavalry just come out in the center of their camp.
Yes!
Looks at you and just like, are you sure you're a priest of the eternal fire?
Yes, last I checked, I'm wearing the robes.
Yes, because the cavalry suddenly appears in the middle of the camp. Oh my god! Because that's okay. Because that's like what 1,500 riders on horseback suddenly just coming out like a fucking waterfall.
How long does gate is open for? That's the question.
I got it up right here. The gate itself is a circular hoop or disc of 5 to 20 feet in diameter, which is great because it means you get 2 to 3 horses side by side. Plan to travel. Travelers need not join hands with anybody. There is no set time limit.
So someone's just got to remain concentration or hold the scroll or something?
I mean, if it's through the scroll, then it works automatically.
Yeah, just hold the concentration.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like actually the time limit would be 1 round per level. So
17 minutes.
I mean, yeah. Or if say a level 20 person creates it,
I mean, even if you don't get all of the riders through, it should be enough to like cause enough chaos for like if the elves start to retreat, the remaining riders can like go forward with your original plan.
All right, so someone opens up the scroll, and then while that chaos is going down, they take down the tower, or do they take down the tower then open the scroll?
No, they would have to take down the tower first. but yeah, like what? Actually, Osmond's thinking. The barrier would have to fall first for the attack to begin. However, you guys are going to need to be quick. You're going to need to be able to. You're going to need to run from the tower straight to the hippogriff pens so that you can do whatever it is you're going to do, so that they don't fly off and start bombarding us from on the air.
So, would Anaris add a character be activating the scroll, and Enzo, of course, takes care of the hippogriffs, right? But how exactly do we need magic to take down the tower, guys, or do we just need to blow it up?
Osmond explained this. What you need, what you need to do is you need someone to basically use high enough level dispel magic on the tower itself, because the tower is it's not like an actual watchtower. It's more like this crystal spire that's jutting up out of the ground. You need to cast the spell dispel magic on it, and it has to be high enough level.
And it can't just be blown up. They don't think.
I mean, once you dispel the magic, it should. Well, I mean, it won't work anymore, so blowing it up won't matter. But you should be able to blow it up once the spell stops working.
So what you're saying? So what you're saying is that we need someone with greater dispel magic at minimum.
Essentially, yes.
So that narrows down our contestants to any high-ranking wizard or high-ranking cleric, and that would be me, the clown, and myself.
Lady Bart that speaks up. Oswin cannot go into the camp. I need him to stay with me.
Right, they gotta help banish the damn thing.
So, because I'm, seeing as how I'm the only one who knows this spell right now, I have to actually perform the banishment spell to get rid of the Leviathan. However, in order to do that, I need to actually be able to see it. However, there is a good news. Thanks to loopholes in magic, if I can see it via scrying, I can still cast the spell. The thing is, this particular form of the banishment spell is going to require my full concentration, so I won't be able to cast scrying on this creature while I'm doing it. So I'm going to need Oswin here to help me with this.
And because he's a fucking evil, like mega demon, he needs a high level to scry on it.
Lady Ford, what is the most powerful rune you can create?
Per what I understand, if you show me, if I remember correctly, above game, if I am told how a spell works, how it functions, I can create a rune for it. It just takes time.
Essentially, yes. Like, it takes someone has to teach you the spell, and you have to roll an intelligence check to see if you're able to successfully learn it.
Basically, if you and I start working on this, I can... I can do that, but that is a good question. Does Gabrielle know Dispel Magic Greater?
Yeah, because we're level 17 now.
Nope.
Sure you updated the character sheet at least?
I think they're doing it right now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't forget, every 4 levels, you increase one of your ability scores by 1.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I could...
I think I've been keeping up with that.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't until like 3 levels ago.
Oh.
Alright.
So I think this is the idea. I think we're going to have to find a way to get some of us behind enemy lines now.
Mm-hmm.
But you can, if you show me how the spell works, I can create a rune for it. I can create several runes for it, and then basically you can give this to your people to trip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll have to do that too.
In order to get past the barrier, you need to be an elf first in order to let the others in, or something?
Like she's suggesting, like, obviously the elf army's not going to let any humans in. However, like, Madeline knows basically Goblin Slayer's adventuring party because they are NPCs here. One of those includes the High Elf Archer. So they won't let a human in, but they might let in another elf. And actually on that, Madeline actually says, Field Marshal, for this plan to work, for them to be able to let our elf friends into the barrier, she might need to come with something that might, at the very least, get the guards interested enough to want to let her through. So it has to be something of value, something that they would want. Maybe information.
No, we're too far into this battle for information to make a difference now.
Yeah.
What about a prisoner?
A prisoner would do.
Or the head of one.
Yeah, that would be great if we hadn't killed our prisoners.
No, I mean, one of ours.
Alright. I feel terrible for suggesting this, but if we're really going to suggest a prisoner, What if she just shows up with Enzo in handcuffs?
It's kind of what.
Why do I? Why do I have to feel like the one I was thinking the exact same thing?
Well, Lita, it's Lita. Well, it's either you or me.
No, you're too important. The morale.
Yeah, you're like a character that like might be able to. It's like, here's the acting archbishop. I'm like, oh, good job, spy.
If we do this, then I want Anaris to come with us.
Anaris is always going to be there.
I want Anaris with me when this happens.
That way she's gotta be there for when Rowan has to fight.
And she'll already be behind the enemy lines.
Oh, then she's gotta beeline it.
Yeah.
Yes.
She better beeline it.
Well, no, because then, actually, if she goes with you, if she downs the true invisibility potion and just like stealths behind you, and then the minute you trip this...
Why does she need the stealth? She could just literally be an elf.
Yeah.
Minor problem, she's a drow, not an elf. They'll notice the difference.
Yeah,
not if Nox gives her a few potions.
Yeah, but does the barrier take away that? Because
she doesn't. I'm just saying that above game, Mike.
Yeah, I don't have true polymorph. I have beast shape. I don't have true polymorph to actually make it, but he would look like it. But devils might be able to see through that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I guess the true invisibility potion then. But that's the only way.
Why would we have? Why couldn't you take the true invisibility and get in? Is the barrier going to stop you if they can't see you?
Well,
they gotta let you in.
Yeah, they have to let her in first. Once they let her in, she'll be able to let in the others.
I get it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a force field, and the only way people get in is if somebody on the other side lets them in. So somebody will have to let in the elf archer first, and then once they let her in, she can let in everyone else.
So it's like vampire rules essentially, and then guest rules.
Kind of, yes.
Okay, that makes more sense.
We turn Anaris into a bee.
But according to all the laws of aviation, bees should not be able to fly.
Well, I will actually. I will be giving everyone a polymorph potion too. But if Anaris, if you do need to make a beeline for anything, turn into a Pegasus. They have the fastest fly speed and gallop speed.
Lita, if you're willing to part with this, you could just give Anaris your your dimension door cloak. I mean, it only works once a day.
Sure, it has it.
Yeah, that's right. Because we were planning on putting her in a fun spot anyways.
So if she already has it, she can just use the dimension door cloak to teleport to where Rowan and Fenrirol are fighting.
I like this.
Rowan also wants to... Smash it with her!
Smash it with
Yes!
No, you know what you do? You put him in a box. You seal the box up. And you put a weight on the box and just drop it in the ocean. Because when he then turns back into Fenrirol, he'll still drown because of the weight.
Nice.
That is actually that's the least ways to die. That is... Yo.
Hey, who wants to go to Fenrirol?
Hey, Fenrirol, you want some concrete shoes?
Those don't seem
Show what we do things in Sanctuary.
Well, remember, Sanctuary... Well, remember, before you guys led an army, you were led gangs, so it fits.
Oh, jeez.
No.
Yeah, Jayson, to say something.
Rowan just wants to point out that the longer what's going on, the longer him and his boys and girls are going to be, dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this behind the scenes mission could go, the better. Because then people will be dying out across the way.
Yeah.
Ask Kat Dennings how tall the barrier is, because is this a sphere? Because what if people can go over it?
Yeah, it was just
you don't need to ask Kat Dennings that. Oswin knows the answer. Just it's a dome.
Damn.
The best example I can give is have you ever seen the trailers for that Stephen King adaptation, Under the Dome?
Damn, it's a shitty Stephen King book. Damn it.
I thought we were in Maine.
God damn it! You figured out the twist of my campaign.
Actually, with the unnatural winter and a weirdo going, "Give me what I want, and I'll go away." This is the storm of the century.
Wait. Oh, it's a dome. It's a dome, right?
Yes.
Diggy hole.
Okay, we do not have anywhere enough time with that, and remember, it's on the
Fair
water.
enough. That's fair enough.
It's on ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair
Only
enough.
we had Jayson Momoa.
Alright, so I think we have the plan. I think we have the plan.
It's not as if the elves didn't already dig a hole into the middle of the zombie field.
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
But there's devils in that hole. And worms.
There's a hole.
Oh my
bottom of hell.
Yeah, cast Earthquake.
Hey Enzo, have you seen my copy of the greatest movie of all time? 17 again? Yeah. Pretty sure it fell in the hole. But oh my god!
Okay. Here's the thought. Because we can't spare. We don't want because. Okay. Yeah, like Jayson said, the longer Anaris and Enzo have to get into the dome, the longer it's going to take for them to the longer his men have to die. And unfortunately, yeah, and that's just a lot of people that, like, look, yes, this is final push. We're expecting casualties out the ass.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, at Larncourt speaks back. Well, if Rowan does his job, he'll at the very least be keeping Fen'Harel occupied, which means for the moments while he's fighting him, they'll be leaderless.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, so we called him out before, like, the infiltration?
But
yeah, easier for you guys.
I mean, you guys are going to have to, because the longer Fen'Harel is battling Rowan, the more his attention is not going to be on the battle.
But yeah,
right, well, we're also airdropping Anaris onto him.
Yeah, but then Anaris can't go inside with Enzo, though.
Yeah, well, here's the thought. Here's the thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do we know if this dome can see through... Well, okay, we know the devils can see through...
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Son of a bitch.
What?
It might actually make more sense because... It might actually make more sense for Lita to go with Enzo, because half angel.
Oh shoot!
So Enzo getting captured. Holy shit! Enzo and Lita getting captured?
Or
holy shit! In all caps.
Getting captured, but you invisible. Everyone's getting an invisibility potion regardless. I'm using these out like candy.
Also, just throwing this out there, Zach. If you're going to be, I know you originally wanted to be with the cavalry. If you're the one carrying the gate spell, like you can call the cavalry to you and just get on a horse.
Yeah, that would And Lita could basically just fall like, give me a potion of invisibility and a couple things that increase my stealth score. I follow Enzo in. I burst this. Because then I can actually be carrying the fucking runes, the greater dispel magic runes on my person. So, we do that. Yeah, because that actually because we can't spare Anaris. Because even then, that polymorph cloak only works up to 1,000 feet.
The Mentionor cloak. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, then yeah, then we go back, we leave Anaris to plan A, to fucking sky drop on fucking, orbital drop on the fucking Fen'Harel.
Yeah.
And then both the fighter and the rogue tag team him to death.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Then
here's the question: when do we attack the? Do I have to simultaneously attack the Leviathan?
Yeah. If you want to shift gears to the Leviathan, actually no, Lady Bar speaks up. It's like at the bare minimum, while we're all doing this, somebody is going to need to distract that thing in the sky, because its size is not the only superpower that it has. Let's see. I'm struggling to think of a word for this. It's like a concentrated beam of heat and light. It's not quite fire breath. It's more. It's like Samael speaks up. The term we use in heaven is laser.
Anaris knows that word.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Samael continues. I will be able to distract the Leviathan. However, that is all I will be able to do. None of my attacks will be able to actually hurt it. However, seeing as how I am what I am, and it is what it is, it will see me as the biggest threat. So I should be able to hold its attention.
Fritz raises his hand. There is actually while you distract it, our colleague the Birdman has experience with monsters. I think he would be able to run along its back, so to speak.
Dante at this actually speaks up. I would also like to volunteer for this endeavor.
Holy guys, I'm working with a fucking anti-paladin and a fallen angel to take on the Leviathan. This is awesome.
But yeah, Dante continues. As I'm sure some of you who have been let's be honest. You all have been looking for me for some time, so some of you are aware that I can move through shadows. If either you, Samael, or this Birdman will allow me to step into their shadow for a little bit, if they were able to get on its back, I would be able to join them. Samael immediately says, "I do not consent to this, you abomination."
Does the Birdman consent?
Is this the one you forgot to ask? Like not on. The Birdman will do what he needs to do. He is ally of the shadows as well.
Very, very well. So getting me up there will not be a problem. Once the two of us are on this creature, we'll take three pythons each, and we will need to actually hammer them into its skin. Lady Bar speaks back up. These things are magic, so they will penetrate it in. However, might I suggest bringing an actual hammer to make this easier?
Yeah, I'll add that to the list.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so if I'm with the devil and the angel, devil
Anti-paladin.
and both, yeah, tomato. But yeah, the fallen in the shadow. We go up on this thing and start hammer timing. Lita and Enzo, Trojan horse. Rowan and Anaris are tag teaming the big bad evil guy, and Burchill's on dragon duty. We got to figure out where Gabrielle's gonna be. Maybe would you like to assist? Who would you like to assist? You probably should be with Burchill, I think, so that there's nobody by themselves.
Actually, at this, Lord Lioncourt was going to say, and just like, Gabrielle, I know this probably is not the time or place for such things, but I've known for some time about your affinity for the arcane.
I see.
Of course, I've kept it secret for your well-being. I don't want to lose you, but seeing as how we are where we are, every skill every one of us has matters. And seeing as how our family does descend for a long line of dragon slayers, it would be an honor to have you by our side in the slaying of this dragon.
Nice.
Thank you, brother. I'd be happy to assist. She seems a little emotional.
All right. Okay, so just to very quickly run down all of the fights that are going to be going on, just so that I know how to make a map for each of you. We have Rowan and Anaris dealing with Fenharel, and no NPC allies as per party request.
Not for the army, but yeah.
Burchill and Gabrielle are going to be taking on the dragon with the assistance of Lord Lioncourt and his 3 knights, who are basically the knights from Dark Souls. And Lita and Enzo are going to take the base via surprise attack. And Nox will be Shadow of Colossusing a literal flying Godzilla / Biollante crossover. Because that's what it looks like to me.
Mm-hmm. I know Nox is a monster hunter. This will be his biggest hunt ever.
I think this will be anybody's biggest hunt ever.
Let's also not forget Horus is going to be the size of the dragon, so he'll be able to help you a lot, Burchill.
So yeah, like Rowan and Anaris are going to be distracting Fen-Harel, so while the battle is going on, they'll be leaderless. Burchill's job is going to have to be he's going to have to skewer the dragon with that gun of his and basically drag it down to the ground so that the other knights can ground it and actually, start hurting the thing.
Right down to the ground.
Yeah. And Lita and Enzo are going to have to make their way through the barrier. I see. Melon just thought of an idea, but let me go through this first. Lita and Enzo are going to have to make their way through the barrier, take down one of the towers to let the army in, and then they're going to have to make a beeline for the hippogriff pens to take them out before they launch them, and before anybody else realizes what's going on. And actually, with that said, Madeline suggests this. Question: What if we have our elf archer friends bring Enzo either in the early hours of the morning or tonight before the battle, so this way when Rowan shows up to challenge Fen-Harel to a duel, it might be seen as a last resort for him. Their leader has been captured, so this is the only thing we can think of to do. To him, it might look like an act of desperation on our part.
Yeah, the head of the church for a guy with a sword that would draw him out. But the thing is, how is Enzo going to hold up the torture?
That's a good point. I didn't actually think of that.
Don't worry about torture, okay? There's nothing that they don't already know that I would even tell them anyways.
Also,
well, if I'm
for a long time.
Yeah, that's
You'd have to
look.
So many invisibility potions.
Or I'll give her mine. I'll give her my invisibility potion so she has an extra. But look, once I'm captured, that's fine. As long as Lady Ford can go ahead and destroy the towers and get the gate spell open, I'm sure she can get me out.
Well, I mean, we won't necessarily have to. No, wait, that's a. Just because I don't want to see you tortured, Archbishop, I think we should stick with our original plan. Just do this as they're fighting, because we're gonna have to do this fast. We're gonna have to take down the barrier first, and then the hippogriffs, so that while Rowan and Fen-Harel are fighting, the rest of the army can attack.
That's fine. Either way, I condone the plan. I think that outside of this, the minor details are the only thing we need to shake out. But I think this is it. I think we know what we need to do.
Mm-hmm. And actually, Lady Bar speaks up. And actually, Rowan, to get Fen-Harel's attention, I have a suggestion. And at this, you watch as Lady Bar reaches into her bag again and pulls out a chain with what looks like round clasps attached to it, and somehow these clasps are holding onto the chain the severed heads of both Hawk and his sorceress apprentice, and there's actually a few more on there that are empty. And it's just if you'd like, I can take these off, and when you ride up to the base, you can just present to Fen-Harel the severed heads of those mages you killed and that leader of the Hippogriff Riders. Yeah, sure, you didn't actually kill any of those people, but Fen-Harel doesn't know that.
What are you talking about? Of course, Rowan the Wolf.
That's barbaric. Let's do it.
Okay. I'll need someone here to collect the severed heads of all the elf leaders and attach them to this thing. Why would you ask us to do that? That's brutal. Exactly. This whole operation is brutal.
Mm-hmm. So, it's not like we have those other 3 important elves' heads on stakes already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Just take the heads of all the important elves we've killed, attach them to this thing, and then have Rowan ride up like a boss and just be like, "Hey, Fen-Harel, you little whiny bitch! Look what I've got."
Oh, also, I'm gonna be king now because I got my sword.
Yeah, exactly. You possess one of the blades of Anaris by right of possession. You in their eyes are seen as a king.
Yeah, that's how the legends are going to be passed down if we all survive this. It's only going to be Rowan that's remembered. Like, who? Nah, he's the one that took down the leader of the Hippogriff Riders. Nah, he's the one that killed everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be like this Arthurian, he's going to be this Arthurian legend.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 2 short little speeches ready when things go down.
All right.
Okay, so... And...
Look, I'm also looking through Inquisitor Kier's bag of drugs. I'm saying I still have Inquisitor Kier's bag of drugs.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Which, if I'm not mistaken, you do have a list of what's in that if you do want to share it with the rest of the party. Also, one other important detail, Anaris. You've actually had 2 encounters with Fen Harel up close. And because of that, actually, one of those was when you were being controlled by Jayson's, which is why I'm telling you this.
Which never let happen again.
Mm-hmm. So Fen Harel's armor is magic to some degree, because when Jayson was controlling your character, what happened was you actually managed to get onto the dragon, sneak up behind Fen Harel, and punch him in the back of the head. When you did this, his armor reacted in such a way so that there was like this burst of cold and it hurt your hand. And you actually did take damage from that. So you are going to need some way to counteract this. And also when you ran up and shot him, like it had the same reaction. Like it didn't hit you from far away, but like it's within melee range. Like any hits this armor takes, it's basically the armor of Agathis spell. There will be like a burst of cold, and it will hurt you if you. Unfortunately, Anaris also knows this. His armor seems to make him immune to ranged attacks. Spells, maybe not, but like her bow did not work. Remember, that was a thing that happened.
Is there a resist cold spell? Hang on a second, let me look up.
Alright, well, that's fine. We'll just airdrop her and have her just do enough damage so the rebound damage doesn't matter.
Also, Rowan, this won't matter to you because your armor makes you immune to cold. It has to because of how the sword works.
You cut out what?
Rowan, this isn't a problem for you because your armor makes you immune to cold. It has to wield the sword.
Yeah.
So we just get some cold resistance on the Anaris, orbital drop her, and watch Fenhurl go splat.
Yeah.
Pathfinder, I'm looking.
I mean, you have mages and clerics who can cast that for you.
You're doing great! You're doing great,
Stick and move, Rowan! Stick and move, Rowan! Rowan,
Bob and weave. Dodge. Just keep dodging. Just dodge. Why aren't you dodging?
Okay, so...
Anaris, tag out! Tag out!
I do have something called protection from energy, and I guess I get to choose which one, energy, so I could say cold.
You guys are free to take anything from my drug list except for Cat's Grace. I think I'm going to take that before I go.
Alright.
You should take everything.
Everything!
Take the blur, then the Cat's Grace, and then just the haste, the race, yeah, just take it all. Just chug it back to back.
Actually, yeah, keep the haste.
And so Rowan's destroyed Fen Harel, saved the day. Unfortunately, he died of an overdose like 10 minutes later.
But yeah, I do have like two potions for you from myself. But yeah, the haste wouldn't be too bad in that situation. Give you an extra attack.
Yeah, that's a great question though. What does rage do?
Yeah.
It gives the effect of the barbarian rage ability.
Okay, yeah. So
it's resistance to damage, and then lets you get a little bonus to attack. Nice.
Yes,
so, yeah,
it's limited in time, and unlike the regular barbarian ability, it doesn't keep going based on how often you get hit. It is a timer, but it is the same effect.
Okay, so Jayson, you take the 2 I'm giving you, and the rage to cut down damage, but if you want to take haste, that would you'd have to do that in the middle of combat.
Or just do it before combat begins.
Yeah, but he's got a bunch of cocktails to drink first. But yeah, let me find out this potion of protection from energy. Google.
Alright. Let me check my notes to see if there is anything else important that needs to be brought up.
Energy. There we go. But yeah, did Zach? Oh, Zach's not there. I was gonna have him ask the head if communications are able to go in and out of the dome, so we'll be able to coordinate with the Bluetooth or not.
You do still have 3 questions, so if you want to ask that, and Zach doesn't necessarily need to ask the questions. Zach, remember, Madeline cast a spell. Any one of you can ask questions.
Gotcha.
So
I'll ask that. Fritz will ask. Can communications come in and out of the dome?
While the dome is active, no. When it's down, yes.
Okay, so for those that enter the dome, it's going to be blackout. Someone remind Zach that whenever he gets back.
It's going to be blackout until the dome goes down. Once it's down, then you guys will have comms.
So 10 minutes per level, 17 minutes. Protection from energy grants immunity to the type of energy I specified, so I'm going to make it cold. When the spell absorbs 12 points per caster level of energy damage to a maximum of 120 points at 10th level. Alright, so once you take 120 points of cold damage, it'll stop working, Mike.
So it's basically temporary HP.
Yeah, so basically anytime cold damage will be applied to you, it'd take it away from the 120. Because, yeah, I think the maximum is 120, let's see. To a maximum of 120, yeah. So, I give you the potion of cold resistance, you have 120 points against cold. Rowan, does yours automatically give you immunity like that, or no?
My armor gives me immunity to cold.
Okay, immunity.
I mean,
so
it has to, because, remember, his sword does cold damage to whoever holds it.
So yeah,
it's what keeps me alive.
Yeah, I give it, and for 17 minutes, Anaris will have essentially 120 free hits from cold damage.
Alright. So, does anyone want to give anything to anyone else or to any of your NPC allies in order to ensure that this plan will have a higher chance of success?
Oh wait, Zach's back. Zach, we asked Kat Denning's head. When the dome is active, communications in and out of the dome don't work, so you won't be able to send message until the dome's down.
That's fine.
And no one can send one to you either, so just heads up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what the Dispel Magic Bomb is for.
Yeah, we also we still have 2 questions left for her, but how do we arm our allies? Is there anything to give them?
Yeah, and
I don't think so at this point. I don't think we can just make it. There's not enough stuff we can make in 24 hours to get us to where we need to go. I think we
can't make any. You can't make anything, but you can use what you have.
Yeah, we've been cranking out bombs and holy bombs since the war started, but now we probably need to disperse all those since we're making a charge.
So
Alright, who are we leaving behind in the city to protect that while we're doing this in case they try to start shit behind enemy lines?
Well, Lady Bar and Osmond have to stay behind to do the banishment spell.
I know, but they're going to be busy, so who's going to protect them? Who's in this
You guys can leave it.
The party plus a couple extra. Yeah,
and unfortunately, Anderson is going to be out there fighting because he has to lead the witch hunters. Vlad's going to be out there fighting. You do have some non-named NPCs that you can leave behind to protect the city. Because it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility to just leave a regiment behind while you send most of the forces out for the attack.
Oh, what's his name? Jayson's buddy. Euron. Euron's still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. He's actually one of the commanders of the City Watch now, promoted by Rowan.
So yeah, if we leave Euron to directly protect them, is that how high level is he, Rowan?
I don't know his round.
He is statted to be at the same level as you guys, so he should be fine.
But in character, Rowan would trust him.
Yeah.
The ally we got left. That isn't.
So you can leave Euron and his group behind to protect the city while you guys go out there and fight.
What about the Russians? They got a different set of skills. Maybe they could also help too.
they were part of Anaris's spy ring, and some of them are still alive, so they can actually sneak into the camp with you guys if you want.
I don't know if the party's too big, but maybe Walt in the midst of the battle starts. What do you guys think?
Well, actually, Madeline's going to suggest this. Just like, what if they just sneak into the camp and start setting fire to it?
Or they start focusing down the watchtowers.
Ooh.
That could work too. I mean,
Those watchtowers are key to being able to get through the dome and getting rid of everything else that's there.
Yeah.
Anyone that we send in needs to go after the watchtowers as the priority.
Yeah.
And all we need is to take down one.
Yeah, once you take down one, the barrier is going to fall, so like getting to the others won't be that difficult.
But if multiple are being attacked, that means they can't attack. Like nobody can get surrounded as easily because if multiple points are being attacked, then yeah.
Also, they can't recast the spell if more than one falls. Like if just one of those towers falls, however they were put there in the first place, they could in theory cast a spell and summon a new one. But if multiple of them fall, they'll have to do that spell multiple times, and who knows how many times they can actually do that spell in a day.
Yeah, and make sure everyone besides holy bombs got holy water and silvered weapons and everything else for the devils.
Yeah. And actually, with that said, Tamara, the witch hunter who was previously dead but is also here. Which, by the way, Temme, Tamara, who you saw as a rotting corpse yesterday.
Rotting?
Well, she wasn't rotting, but you saw her as a corpse. She's alive and in this meeting room with you guys.
Yeah, she was at the funeral yesterday. You saw her.
Well, I mean, we did your solo session after his, so I didn't know you were actually going to do that at the time, so I didn't bring that up.
Yeah, but she was at the funeral as one of the mourners, because turns out she wasn't actually dead. Like she made a mistake. Shut up, John.
That was another empty casket. No one's just going to talk about it.
All right, so
because that's the story. The coroner made a mistake.
But yeah, Tamara speaks up and just like, there is one thing I feel like I should bring up. I was one of the few witch hunters who actually saw that elven sorceress appear on Temple Isle when she did. I have no idea how she managed to get in here. She and those assassins teleported here. It shouldn't be possible to teleport to this place because the grounds are concentrated, but they did. And even when she got here, she uses a type of magic I've never seen. So
there might be more than.
Exactly, like whatever type of magic these elves use is a kind that is unfamiliar to even us. And actually, Osmond brings up, she's actually right. When Anderson and I disrupted the winter ritual, we did. Neither of us in both of our areas of expertise recognized the type of magic, the language they were chanting, or what sort of spell this even was. So whoever goes into the camp and starts messing with them in that way, just be prepared for magic that we have never seen or heard of or have even written about in our books. Remember, these aren't city elves like we understand them. These are elves from the ancient sanctuary cities that were established after the fall of the old Elven Empire. These elves still follow the old ways. They still know the old magics.
So nothing's changed.
Mm-hmm. The good news is dispelling magic still works because it is magic. It's just whatever type of magic they use, be prepared for anything.
Well, that's good to know. But again, I don't think that really changes anything at this stage of the game.
All right.
Just a friendly heads up then, because I don't think we ever did think about that. How the fuck did they teleport onto the place you're not supposed to, and they tried to get out the same way?
Mm-hmm. Because you're right. Like that, she was going to cast a spell to teleport them all out of there, which you disrupted when you killed her. So yeah, let me just check my notes to see if any other NPCs want to bring up anything. Okay.
Where's Vlad gonna be whenever this all goes down out of character?
Vlad is gonna be with Anderson. Then they're gonna lead the witch hunters first to fight the devils and then to take the camp.
Okay, so.
Well, also the general army is coming with you as well. And actually, thank you for bringing that up, Grant, because Lord Blindcourt is going to ask, because Lady Oswin and Lady Bar, you said your name was? It is, like, whatever. So, I understand that you guys need to be here to do this banishment spell, but I imagine you're not going to be able to be prepared for that for some time. They still have to get those pythons in, right? Yes. While we're waiting on that, is it possible for either of you to use magic to hide a large number of troops?
Oh, right, yeah.
At this, Lady Bar smiles. How many? He's like, what do you want? Regular, extra crispy, or extra strength? I have no idea what you mean by any of those terms, but let's just go with extra strength. He's just like, I can't make them invisible per se, but I can block out the elves' perception of them. I don't know about the devils, but assuming it is still pretty foggy, so assuming you keep them far back enough from Rowan, like they'll be too concentrated enough on him to be able to notice them at first. Then once the barrier's down and everything goes to shit, army suddenly appears and they do their job.
We're talking about the army that's following Rowan, right?
Yes, the one that's going to come in behind you.
Wouldn't they take me more seriously if I had an army with me?
Well, that's up to
an army with me.
That's up to the party. Do you want Rowan to ride in solo, or do you want him to ride with like an army at his back?
What if he rides
I don't
in
wanna
an army, but then the more of the army's just invisible, so they think the numbers are less?
I would say have him ride up solo, and then have the army just basically appear behind him after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh yeah, no, I wasn't over by myself, and then the fucking fog clears, and all of a sudden, like, oh no, there's an army right there. Shit.
Someone get the hippogriff riders, sir. The hippogriffs are eating each other. What?
I mean, literally, that's the plan. Like make it appear that it's a solo fight. That you guys take out the hippogriffs first, and then the army appears like, get the hippogriff riders. Surely hippogriffs are eating each other. What?
Wait a minute. If we have the spies going into the camp as well. Wait, Lita, can you put his hunger into like a rune bomb or something?
No. Let's focus. Let's focus on the spell magic. We're just gonna focus on the spell magic.
Yep.
But yeah, like who's gonna take care of those?
I don't want to like terrify Rowan into a coma.
Well, who's gonna take out the hippos then?
I will.
What if you're downed?
Then if I'm downed, you better start praying.
Well, it's not as if Enzo isn't taking two other party members, one NPC and one PC, who also know how to cure wounds.
Mm-hmm.
That's a shame. We're all dead. No one knows how to cure wounds.
And besides, it's not like I can't cure wounds either.
Yeah, right. But I can also.
Let's go home.
Yes, though the downside, the positive is, just mass cure critical wounds, regenerate, greater restoration, resurrection,
Mm-hmm.
Just the spells.
Alright.
Jayson just sent me a screenshot of our convo right now. He says it looks like I'm wearing Abraham Lincoln's hat.
It does.
7 years ago.
Okay. So I've gone through my list of everything that the NPCs wanted to touch on. Actually, no. Like, yeah, I'll have Lion bring this up. It's like, wait. Prince, Field Marshal, you said that Dr. Fritz needed to make a bomb earlier, right?
Yeah.
I think I know what your Russian friends can do, Dr. Fritz.
What's Russia?
I mean, Stolichny. I think I know what your Stolichnian friends can do, Dr. Fritz.
They're always in a rush, so it's just slang for that group.
Yeah.
How can you rush when you're squatting?
Very carefully.
That is a Stolichnian secret that they have refused to share with you.
Actually, they found out people in Slavic areas of the world, they actually have like a different. I think it was like their hips or something that allows them to do the squat much easier than we would be able to do.
I actually do that as an exercise. I actually do that as an exercise, just like squat like that for as long as I can.
Yeah.
Well, there is actually like my father explained to me this. There's like, because Russia, because my father studied martial arts and the philosophy of martial arts. There's actually something in like Russian martial arts where there's this belief where it's like, there's this whole thing in like Russian martial arts where it's like, if you want to kick higher, then just do it. Like they literally physically force themselves to do shit. So I'm like, no, that makes total sense why they can squat like that. Is they probably forced themselves to do it, and their bodies adapted.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like Boris actually explained this in one of his videos, like back in like after World War II, when like Russia was going through like this big reconstruction, and they built all those residential areas for people to live. Something they didn't build were like parks or benches or gas stations or literally anything. Like they literally just built all of these residential buildings right next to each other and put literally nothing else around it, so there's nowhere to hang out. So like that's why they squat, because it's like there's literally nowhere to sit, so they improvised.
Yeah.
Well, now they're one of the only people that can do it like comfortably.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they help with the bomb. What kind? All right. Could this bomb like technically be a dispel magic bomb?
I mean, depending on the type of bomb you make, yes. Like if it was a dimeridium bomb, it could dispel magic.
Dimeridium plus adding some Molly in there, which is what my already dispel magic bombs uses. Yeah, no joke. Molly is what's used to dispel magic drugs.
So yeah, like the witch hunters actually do carry around dimeridium bombs for when they deal with mages. Basically, they're just like it's basically like Greek fire or like wildfire, or like the bombs in The Witcher. But yeah, like if you could make one of those on a much larger scale, you're just going to need more dimeridium filings or shrapnel, whatever works.
Well, funnel them to the lab then.
All right. So basically, you're going to be making the world's biggest pipe bomb.
Yay.
All right. So I guess NPC-wise, the only thing that's left is you guys still have 2 more questions for Kat Dennings.
All right. What should we ask?
What's your favorite book? Oh, it's hard to choose just one.
Okay, think. Oh, Zach, what about how many casters she see behind the lines?
Yeah, that'd work.
Does she think the severed head thinks about this for a moment and then says, Not sure of exact number, but not as much as you would think. Like, elves' affinity for magic is about the same as humans, so they have a similar number of casters to us. What they do have more than we do is magical equipment. Because magic is common in their society.
That's why I will build the weapon.
One last question. What could we know we can't communicate. We know they got some casters, not as much as we think.
Also, their casters are very powerful. Just throwing that out there.
Maybe spies could also. Do you think Anaris' spies could take them out too?
They can certainly try.
I don't like the sound of that.
I mean, literally everything that you guys are suggesting for the NPCs, I'm going to roll for when the battle actually begins, so there's always a chance of failure.
I don't know. Like, what about what do you guys think? Can devils get into the dome, or are they outside of it, or something? Like, or
well, I mean,
they have to be let in.
Assuming someone's there to let them in, they can come in. And also just to remind you, devils don't sleep. So, like, if someone approaches the barrier, they're going to see it.
Well, for those going inside, like, what's something you would want to know?
Well, because they're mostly going to build that greater dispel magic thing to basically trigger off to get the dome down while the watchtowers are being dealt with.
I don't know, Temme, you're going into the lion's den. Any last question for her that...
No, at this point.
No,
we don't. We just leave the head.
I mean, if we literally have no other questions, I mean, I guess Burchill cast something.
All right.
Actually, that's Enid. Madeline asks. I actually have a question, if you don't mind. Or
Paper, scissors?
or you can ask your question, Burchill. I'm sure it's a better one than mine.
Let's whisper it to each other first and then figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so Madeline walks over to you, Burchill, and just whispers, I want to know if there's anyone in the camp we need to worry about besides Fen Harel. Like any other leaders.
Okay, that's better than mine. I was going to ask her if she was serious about that freedom she offered me when he was alive.
What is that?
None of you.
So Burchill's thinking about getting some head from the head?
Oh my god!
She
said that when she was drunk, so Bertram was curious. Was she serious when she said that?
Like, for any of you who want to know if you heard that since they were whispering, I'd like for you to roll perception.
I heard
You roll perception anyway. Roll perception anyway.
I refuse. Perception picks up all.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die, but it's gonna be worth it. Because that was a 27. I'm gonna die, but that's worth it.
I think the whole room heard it.
Grant, what'd you roll for perception?
I don't want to roll.
What'd I
I'm gonna
say?
waste my dice if I do that. Just know that in spirit, I probably heard it.
Oh my
I
god.
want to waste a good roll on this.
Dude, you have to. This is the one moment where
Yeah.
good roll is important.
Fine. No, it isn't.
It's my alignment.
Okay.
Oh, that
Here's
sucks.
Jack shit. You got a one.
All right, so Nox and Gabrielle, you guys.
Good. I wasted that one.
Nox and Gabrielle, you two don't hear shit because you're paying attention to things that are actually important. The rest of you, you hear that perfectly well. So it is no surprise to you at all. As soon as Burchill finishes talking, like Madeline just backs away from him, and her face turns as red as a cherry.
I fucking spit take on that one. I'm over here drinking some coffee, trying to get the hangover to go away, and I just spit take.
To be fair,
I mean, she isn't now, obviously.
to be fair, Lashanon once offered herself to basically crawl into bed.
Isn't a
I know.
Also, Lashanon was open to an orgy with the entire party. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, no. Nope.
let's be clear. She's who she is. This is a fucking head.
This is a separate
Again,
head.
she offered it when she had Cat Danes' body, so...
He's wondering if it was serious in the past.
It's keeping him up at night. I understand.
Yeah.
So, yes, Madeline does not ask that question. She instead, with her head low so you don't see her face, just hurries back on over to the head and timidly asks her questions like, is there anyone else in the elf encampment we have to worry about besides Fen Harel? And she's like, but yeah, like the head answers. He's like, ain't it Uncleana, Fen Harel's court sorceress, the one who summoned the devils and cast the winter spell. As soon as she finishes saying that, you guys all collectively realize, oh wait, she's dead, and she was already dead when this woman was alive, so she doesn't realize you've killed her.
Yeah. Well,
Wait.
oh well.
But yeah, she keeps going. Just like Thranduil ein Lavalon, Fen Harel's top general. He's the one who draws up all the battle plans. And lastly, Gels ein Tirashid, Fen Harel's spy master. If you guys read any of those stories I posted to the Facebook group, you would know who these characters are.
Yeah, but not in
Yeah.
character.
Not in character.
Well, yeah, not in character, but above game.
Alright. So it sounds like we took down one executive. Only two left.
And as soon as she finishes answering this question, and actually, as soon as she goes silent, Lady Barr asks, So now we're done with her, can we perhaps remove the severed head from the room? It's kind of smells. Also, Osmond, I got it. And then you just watch Osmond waves his hand over the map that Enzo spit all over, and it's fine again. He casts prestidigitation.
Yeah, sorry about that. Grab the head and just torch it.
I mean, we could have at least buried it.
You literally just set the head on fire in this room full of all these important people?
No, I didn't set it on fire. No, think about a fucking jet flame coming out of my hand into the head. The head is ash.
In front of all of these people.
That poor... we could have buried it with honor, jeez.
She was a head. Do you realize what they probably did to her body?
No, I don't want to imagine.
They probably stuffed a freaking devil in it.
Yeah.
At least this way the fire's purgation can at least cleanse her soul as she goes to the creator. God, people.
See, they probably used her as fuel.
Yes.
In the Singularity engine.
She's a robot now.
This is just a lovely conversation we're having.
Anyways, yes, all I did was I purified the remains of her head, so that way she would go and pass on to the creator just fine.
Yeah.
All right. So
she worshipped, she worshipped the elven god.
all right. So
it's all the same in the end.
So, if there is nothing else to discuss, I mean, if you guys think of something later, we can still discuss it. But like, we've gotten through the planning phase of the session, as Lord Lioncourt calls this meeting to a close. We're going to call a bathroom break right now, but then when we get back, we're going to enter phase 2 with this, which is loose ends. So, like I said, this is the point of no return. If there is anything left, and I know some of you have stuff that you want to do before you go into this final battle, this is the time. You will not get another chance. So think about that while you're on your break.
Well, let's mail some anthrax to the what's his name, the Inquisitor. Just mail some anthrax to him. Like, here you go, buddy. Ah!
Dear NSA agent, he was kidding.
Do we need Char anymore? Maybe we could just make him disappear.
He disappeared already. He was part of the evacuation.
Ah, damn it. We're gonna have to deal with him eventually.
It's going to be just Burchill and Horace, but like once Burchill once Burchill grounds it, then Lord Lioncourt and his 3 friends are going to be helping fight it, and they're like actual knights, so they'll just be going at it with melee attacks.
What do you guys think? Should I give them some frost as well if they're going to be against it?
Mm-hmm.
If anyone's going to be going against ice damage, then yeah, I think we should have frost.
Alright, so that's 4 more, so we'll give those to Lioncourt and buds.
I imagine that's what Rowan's going to be doing too.
Put them in convenient cans. Right.
Is Anaris going to be doing this too?
Well, she'll have her invisibility one at least,
mm-hmm.
and also her cold. So at least 2 drinks. We all just mix it up. We're all drinking moonshine by accident. Like, guys, it's the wrong batch. We're all just stumbling around drunk. Like, we're heroes.
I mean, I guess good thing this isn't like old school D&D with drinking different potions too close to each other that could result in you blowing yourself up.
Right. Yeah, good thing. Yeah, be thankful I'm not enforcing that rule, because that is a thing in Pathfinder that can happen.
For certain ones, yeah, but everything I've looked at with what I've created, I'm like, I can just juice you guys up on steroids as long as I got the resources.
All right.
What else?
No, don't drink both of those. One's an acid and one's a base.
Lita and Enzo, let's see, acid, cold, electricity, fire, sonic. Do you think you'll encounter those in the camp?
Who knows, man? I could encounter all of them or none of them. That's that. We don't know.
Yeah, there's no telling, but like for the people we know for sure, facing cold or okay, let's see. So I got those for you guys. Don't and all your enhancements, and let's see. Gabrielle, write down that I'm gonna give you and Burchill 2 extra potions of that in case he runs low, because we kind of need to keep Horace big.
the large potion.
Yeah. Also, yeah, now that since you took 6 of the health potions, you might be able to, if Horus is running low, you can inject him while he's fighting the dragon, because it's still, yeah, just because you're all big and got more hit harder doesn't mean you're still gonna be like taking damage.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do they get bonus HP because of their size, or is that still the same?
Let me see. I think it gives a lot of AC, but for health, let's see, where is it? Fortitude multiple your base attack. Target is 6 plus. It does increase their con score, so does increasing your con score give you the relevant HP, even if it's temporary?
If it increases like their modifier, then it does.
Okay, so whatever your con score comes out being whenever you guys take these potions, that's how much extra health I guess you get for relative to level 17. So what would that be? Let me see. So if your con was +8 to right now, what's your con right now, Jayson?
16.
So what is that? 24. So that'd be a plus 5. So that's a +7 overall. So what is that like? Plus. So would that be like? How does that factor in with the con scores of the past for 17 levels? Is that 2 each level, or is that
what?
4 each level? Because yeah, if your con score becomes that, that's how much like health you.
I think it's 4 per level.
Mm-hmm.
So what is that like? So that's a +4 times 17. So math. What's math?
Are you asking me?
Yes. What is math? Does it even exist?
Math is what Professor Farnsworth used to try to solve that problem in that one episode of Futurama.
By God, forgive us all, or whatever he's like. God help us all.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, while Grant is doing math, let's get back into the role playing aspect of this.
So 68 extra health whenever you're large, Jayson.
16 extra health, is that what you said?
68.
Oh, 68.
So it'd be whatever your score is times 17. Like, so you added, that would be giving you a +4, essentially, so... Because, wait. Yeah, because you're already at... No, wait. What? You said your con score was 16?
Yeah.
So 16 is +4, but this is plus... No.
So it'd basically be 4 times 17, so you'd add 68 temp health points.
I think, but yeah.
Yeah, that's actually correct.
5,
I just looked it up.
7. So yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because 4 times 17 is 68.
Yeah, I had to do the math in my head again, because I was like, did I mess up? But that's only while you're still bulked out. And can it be the equivalent to whatever your score is, plus the 8, and Horace's as well?
Yep.
So you'll have to do math whenever you figure that out.
You bastard.
So yeah, moving on to the role-playing aspect.
Joke's on you, I made that shit!
Moving on to the role-playing aspect of this, however, don't let that discourage you from discussing more mechanic stuff, if it will help you prepare for the battle, Eder.
So, keep going.
Right. So, yeah, moving on, as Lord Lioncourt calls the meeting to a close, and everyone begins to leave, Lita, I'll start with you, because as you are leaving, you actually hear Lady Barr's voice in your head say, "But, by the way, I couldn't help but notice after reading the minds of all of your friends that they seem unaware of the particulars of the deal that you and I made in order for you to get my help. Is that going to be a problem?" Yes, she read all of your minds. Because she can do that without you guys knowing that she did.
You don't want to be in there.
She's already been in Anaris' mind. She knows what's there. But yes, Lita.
It's a bunch of rubber duckies and a rave.
Yeah, yes, Lita. How do you answer this question?
No, it will not be a problem.
Good. Now, do you say that out loud, or do you think it? There, because that will matter.
Lita says it out loud.
It's just like, so okay, so all right. So hearing that, you hear Lady Barber's voice in your head again, just saying, "Good." It's like, "Good. Let's hope that lasts." And then she is going to go off to another room in the on Temple Isle to set up her ritual. Now, moving on from that, Ken. I know you said for a solo session you wanted to talk to Dante, but I mentioned that he would not actually be available until this session actually started. So he is currently in the room with you, and since the meeting is closed, he is just leaving with Lady Bar. So if you would like to catch him before he goes anywhere, now is your chance.
All right.
Okay. So what do you say?
Dante, can I get a word with you for a bit?
Dante looks surprised, but then he actually looks over to Lady Bar as if asking for permission, but she just shrugs and just very quickly walks off and leaves the two of you. And with her gone, he just says, I suppose, is this something that would be better discussed in private?"
Perhaps.
Very, very well. I do not actually know the rooms of this building, so if you know of any private conference rooms, that would it'd be helpful if you were to lead me to one. And see, you've spent enough time in this building for the war that you do, Burchill. You can get a private room.
Very well.
All right. So yeah, the two of you have some privacy.
All right, Dante. I'm just going just out of this. You know that before before your mistress and Lita came to this agreement, you realize I'm the only one in this group who actually wanted to help you, right?
I'm sorry. He looks genuinely surprised.
What? What? Look, look, look. Even though everyone else, when we were under the impression that you were being, or at least I was under the impression that you may have been forced to be doing what you're doing, which, according to Lady Barr, is only half the case. I was the one I was the only one who wanted to try to save you. So I guess I just want to know, did the friend that I think I had really exist? The one, the one who, the one who helped invest into my business and made so that I'm not only in the place I am today, but had the means to find my sister. Was that Dante Lightsmith real, or was it all an act? Because according to Lady Barr, you've been working for her for much longer than we initially thought.
I suppose there's no hiding things now. Even here in this room, she is in my head. She knows everything that I think. However, seeing as what's about to happen, I suppose it's not worth keeping secrets from anyway. The truth is, Burchill, I had hoped that you and Lita and the rest of your friends would do something to help me get out of this predicament. I'm sure Lady Barr has told you that if. Okay, I'll just be completely honest. I was hoping that you would kill her.
I probably would have if I was able to, even though I don't believe in
Mm-hmm.
in attacking a woman.
Well, I helped all of you as much as I did because I I'd hope, even though I could not ask for this out loud for fear of her discovering it, I had hoped that in return you would help me by killing her and thus freeing me. Although, I have no idea if you're aware of this, her magic is literally the only thing keeping me alive. So, if she dies, so would I. But, to tell you the truth, I've done things, terrible things, working for her. I just wanted it to end.
Oh, then we can't kill this bitch. At least not now.
Maybe we convince her to let him go after all this is done.
We're not.
The implication seems to be if she lets him go, he dies.
Well, it's kind of what he wants, it sounds like.
Yeah.
And I don't suppose I could convince her into adding an addendum to whatever deal her and Lita made to let you go after this is all done. I doubt I have that kind of sway, especially not over her.
She knows everything that you're thinking. She probably already knows you had this idea. Although I suppose it wouldn't. I suppose it would not hurt to ask. I'm not sure how much use I can still be to her after this is over. So I suppose it couldn't hurt. May I ask you something?
Very well.
Are you not at all curious why? Are you not even in the least bit curious how I came to be in this predicament, or why I do what she tells me?
Well, I assume that part of it is what you said about you being kept alive.
That is part of it, yes. I was young and foolish and in love. We wanted to get married, but we were poor and had no money for anything, let alone a wedding. So I took a job on a ship to hopefully make something and return home with to get our lives started once that happened. Unfortunately, I did not realize this at the time, but one of the other crew on the ship, actually it was the whole crew. They were paid to deliberately sail into a storm and push me over. I suppose they had just assumed I died in the waters. Instead I found myself clinging to a rock, barely alive, but with legs that were barely functioning and was bleeding from both of my wrists. That last wound was self-inflicted. That was how she found me. She offered me a new life in exchange for a chance to get revenge on those who had done this to me. And being young and foolish and in love, I accepted. It took me many years to return home. And when I did, I had found that not only had the people who had done this to me, who had turned out to be the local lord's son, he was already dead. And so were his other conspirators. They had died in a bloody coup. And woman I loved, when I found out that when she had found out when she had heard what happened to me, she actually killed herself in grief.
Jeez.
So selling my soul for revenge turned out to be completely pointless. But my soul, and I could not refuse.
I have a
Basically,
question
he's the
for
Count
you.
of Monte Cristo.
But no, I have a question
Go.
about that story of yours. That I mean, that could very well be the case. But if you were poor, why would the what would the local lord do that to you? What did he have against you? Are you sure it was him and not the one
Our story
who did this to you? How do you know Lady Barr didn't set this up just so she would have her own soldier?
To be completely honest, that thought never occurred to me. What I do know was that the Lord's son was in love with the same woman that I loved, and what he did was his attempt to remove me. And of course, he had money, he had land, he had many things that I could not have given her. I suppose he thought that would be enough to win her over. But like I said, what you suggested genuinely did not occur to me at any point. I'm not attempting to defend her in any way, but Lady Barr is a woman who carries a lot of anger in her, a lot of hate. During the Major Rebellion 100 years ago, she was actually there. She was part of it. She personally witnessed the Church of Eternal Fire killing all of her friends. That's what drives her. I suppose in some way we all can relate to that. I had my own desire for revenge, and she understanding revenge used my desire to help fuel hers. Like your friend Nox Lumen, I understand that he holds a similar grudge to the Church of Eternal Fire. As does Enzo, even though he is now acting Archbishop.
I guess I can understand revenge, though. Though, I mean, in the case of my revenge, the result of that is sitting somewhere in the city in a wheelchair.
Yes, Lord Randall Asland. Perhaps when the battle begins, it would be a twisting the knife a little to give him a good view. Wouldn't you agree?
Perhaps. Just hope no overnight archer sees his head poking out and snipes him from a distance. It'd be better if years from now he lives to see me with all of his wealth and possessions, and his daughter, of course.
Hmm. It's funny. It's funny that that's how you phrase it. It's like I came back to this country to kill some lord's son, and in the process of getting back here, I had accrued more wealth in my travels than he could have ever possessed in his entire life. But all of that, I suppose, is pointless now.
If that's the case, then I don't suppose you want your deposit on your investment into my business back, do you?
No. In fact, seeing as how we are discussing this, at that he actually puts his hand on your shoulder. Burchill, my home, all of my servants, all of my money, you can have it. I understand that Lady Ford is a lady of the court now, so she is fairly well set up. But you You're going to have a family soon. I imagine you're going to need your own place to live. And if you don't want to live in my house, don't worry. Tear it down. Build a new one. You'll be able to afford it with all the well, let's just say gold that you're going to be getting.
I'll run it by my wife first.
I don't think she will mind.
Thank you. I mean, honestly, fortunately didn't expect this.
Honestly, like I said, I hoped you would kill Lady Bar, but here we are instead. And I suppose I have the chance to redeem myself in a different way.
Well, even though you said she corrected my thoughts, so I could just say this aloud anyways. Yeah, if at the end of the battle I come across her and she's like on her last legs, I could try to shoot a bullet into her skull.
You actually hear Lady Bar's voice in your head. You can try. And yes, she does say it like that.
Quick, Burchill, just start thinking.
Rubber ducky, you're the one.
Beat her at her own game.
Anybody here besides me ever see that movie Gamer with Gerard Butler?
No.
Oh yeah.
I've seen a review of it, but I've never actually seen it.
Controlling people with a video.
Yeah, that's actually how he kills Dexter at the end of the movie. Is he's just like, because Dexter's controlling all these people, and he basically says, and like this guy is holding him back. He's like, "I'm controlling you too, Butler," and he's just like, "Think about me stabbing you in the head." And you start to see the knife move, and I'm like, "Hey, this movie's a dumpster fire."
That should work. There's no way that should work.
Well, no, it's the idea of. No, he says like you're thinking about me stabbing you in the head.
Elephants.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is kind of clever, actually.
Yeah, the rest of that movie's a dumpster fire and a fucking half, but besides the point.
I've heard that movie is like really offensive to like people who play video games.
No,
Most
really?
video game movies are.
Hollywood
Doesn't he, like, drink down, like-
gamers work.
Isn't there a part where he drinks like alcohol or gasoline or something like that and uses his piss to fuel a car?
It's been so long since I've
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
All I remember is it
That's
features
a thing.
the one.
I don't know if it's that movie.
I remember it does have a scene where the guy from Heroes is it's a weird movie because it simultaneously features the guy who played Percy Jackson from the Percy Jackson movies as a gamer, as well as like the guy from Heroes who played like Peter, whatever his name, Peter Petrelli, and he's played like this like sexually aggressive asshole. And I'm like, what the fuck is this movie?
It's gold. It's something we're gonna watch this summer. Bring it, Zach.
No, I don't have a copy of it. The movie's
Ew,
terrible.
copy.
Look, I have a collection of bad movies. Amongst them is Battle Los Angeles. I gleefully would argue in favor of Battle Los Angeles over Gamer any fucking day of the week.
We're already going to be watching Train Spotting.
That wasn't a bad movie. It's just weird.
I mean, it's Ewan McGregor's first movie ever.
What does it have to do with Gamer?
It's a better movie, but it's just as weird.
Didn't you know Gerard Butler was a train spotter in real life?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like if she does get weakened, yeah, you have to call her bluff, Ken. You'll have to do it.
Mm-hmm. But yes, going back to in game, like as soon as you finish that thought, you do hear in your head, "You can try."
I mean, I was saying like a specific situation of, yeah, our single crossbow bolt could take her out now.
Mm-hmm. But actually, yeah, don't you just like it's terrifying, isn't it? Now imagine her being in your head all the time, even when you're alone, and even when you're sleeping. That's what I've been dealing with.
I really can't imagine. So,
Well-
before we get back to everyone else, should we just draft up a contract of what you just said? Just for legal reasons.
You know what? You know what? Sure. I have nothing else to do. I'll draft that up. However, I might need Lita to notarize it because I feel like she's the only person in this city who would willingly notarize anything I write at this point.
Mm.
So we don't have to roleplay this if you don't want to, Zach, but let's just say like Dante does write up this contract between him and Burchill. Are you okay notarizing this agreement and making it official?
That's what she's doing
Sure.
with Dante every day.
Okay. So I'm going to say over the course of the day, a contract is drawn up. You sign it, Dante signs it, and then Lita also signs it as a notary and a witness, basically saying, yeah, yes, this contract is official. I, as a lady of the Court of Sanctuary, do hereby granted authorization as official. And congratulations, Robert Burchill. When this is over, you'll be the proud owner of land, a really swanky property, and believe it or not, actually more money than all of the other nobles in Sanctuary, including the late Vincent Lupton.
Nice.
Is Burchill just the single most richest person in the continent after this war?
Right now, yes, he is.
I mean, probably not more than the actual royalty, but
You're
I mean,
getting
the
closer,
actual
bud.
yeah, the actual royalty is royalty, but yeah, you're like literally a spit distance away from that in terms of wealth.
Hell, you could go buy
In
the
fact-
island nation.
I mean,
in fact, I'm just gonna put the,
I expect me to socialite myself into a free mana, but hey.
In fact, I just want to point this out there, Lita. After signing this contract, Burchill technically now has more money than you.
That's what he thinks.
Burchill can make his
No,
own
no,
country
he
now
literally-
'cause
he
he's got
literally-
Amazon.
He literally
Well, you
does.
see, yeah.
His taxes.
Well, you see, here's the thing.
Count of Monte Cristo just gave him all of his wealth.
Yes, but you see, here's the thing. Lita notarized this. There's a 15% notary tax.
You do realize that a 15% notary tax for Dante is like chump change, right?
Yes.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, if Burchill ever gets tired of the taxes, he's got a fleet of boats. Like, you know what? I'm going over there because you can't tax me on the water.
I know, it's just, Lita it's like, Burchill is, in fact, richer than Lita. That being said, Lita controls the labor force, she controls the labor, and she essentially controls the economy.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Lita has is more political power than Robert Burchill, but Robert Burchill has more money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in the grand scheme of things, on the power scale.
Mm-hmm.
Federal's like, well, there'll be no taxes, just souls. Oh, okay. I'm not using mine anyway.
Well, on the grand scheme of things, also it goes Lita, Burchill, and then doesn't matter how much money Burchill has. Gabrielle is an actual member of the inner fucking court. Gabrielle's family is part of the inner fucking court of the king of king of this country.
Yeah,
So it doesn't matter how much fucking.
Burchill has like 2 or 3 wealths of different nobles combined into one.
Yeah.
He took them over.
I would also like to point out that those same nobles are going to help you slay the dragon.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you now have the 2 wealthiest families in this country and most politically important joining forces to slay a dragon.
I love this format. Like, I don't know where it originated from, but these random players mashed together. I love it.
Initially format from a comic of Steven Universe versus Hitler of God told Steven, "Let's quickly kill this guy, Steven." Damn.
Right now. Nah, I think it's tomorrow.
Nice. All right. So, since we're done with that scene, does anybody else have any other loose ends or anything they would like to act out or take care of before we go into the final battle?
I know Mike does.
Just one more thing.
Mike, what do you want to do?
Charlie, I'll type it out. Go ahead.
Yeah, are we doing it just tomorrow, or is it another day after that?
The battle will be tomorrow, yes.
Okay. Can barely talk, so this is going to be fun.
It's okay.
It's going to be after the meeting right there that Anaris wanted to wait for Lita and Enzo, everyone else but Lita and Enzo to leave.
Okay. So yeah, I'll say that you guys are alone and this conversation is going on while Burchill is talking to Dante.
Just them talking in the background right there.
Well, they're talking in a different room. They're talking in a different room, so you guys have privacy.
Okay.
Oh,
Alright. So, I guess tomorrow we're doing it.
yep.
Killing this guy.
Yep.
Either we all die or we all come back heroes.
Or both.
I know that feeling.
Yep.
What did you say you were giving me for this?
Oh, if you pull this off, Lita is willing to will endorse you becoming a lady of the court.
Okay.
Good news, I took a spell that can do actual damage.
Nice.
That would be useful. Don't forget you have your weather control staff, which also does damage.
That's true, but I like more damage.
And Lita will also, if Enzo ever makes a bid for the papacy, she will back him up.
Well, also, let us not forget that when this war is over, you're going to kill the entire leadership of the Church of Eternal Fire.
Yeah.
Well, someone is, but you guys are going to help her.
What do you mean help? We're just gonna let her do it.
Yeah, we're just gonna put her in the room with all the fucking clergy and be like, and just like kind of like cast silence on the room, and then when she walks out, all covered in blood with a smile on her face.
Enzo just walks in, grabs the Pope hat, puts the Pope hat on, and it's like, well, I guess I'm Pope now.
Yeah, so just for warning, anyone that, because I'm going to reference stuff from that here, so if people that want to know...
I will take out my headphones.
Even though you're never going to get that ending, John.
You can look it up on YouTube later.
Basically.
He took out his headphones when right before he said that.
Because he's not going to do something that doesn't benefit his character heavily.
Ah.
But, anyway...
Forget about it anyway.
Yeah. Do you want to know what I did this morning? I woke up screaming because I remembered something. I don't know what I did there just before I got here.
Yeah, you haven't talked much about what you did over there.
Yeah, it was a blur. I've only started remembering what I did there, and I forgot that I actually... These aren't my original arms. 4 legs. Eyes are still that one. These aren't even organic. These are replacements. Same with various other organs, but they put the others back.
Alright.
No, I don't really care about being a lord or lady of the court. Getting that for Enzo is nice. Something that I do want.
Alright, what is it?
I want that after this is done, that you all don't leave me. I'd prefer not to be alone again.
Not gonna lie, Lita looks genuinely confused.
Because when I was over there, I was kind of on a ticking time bomb. I had someone else in my head, and he was rewriting me. And he was a nice enough guy. I did everything I could to help out him and myself there, but once I had a chance to get out, even if I had to step on somebody else, and frankly, be directly responsible for the deaths of so many different people. I did it. Sold her out, prevented her from going to the moon, and made my deal with Washington. Got him out of my head, and got myself cured. Only thing it cost me was all my combat cyberware and every friend I'd made in several months of being in Night City. You know the feeling of when you wake up after 6 months of a surgery, barely can move, barely can talk, and you try to call all your friends, especially your girlfriend, and they all tell you, hey, sorry, it's been months, we've moved on. But cool that you're alive. Honestly, that demon grabbing me when I went back to Night City, after I'd also learned that one of the longer friends I'd had was going to leave the country and the other had basically turned his back on everything that he was to be stable. That was the best thing that happened to me. Frankly, I just don't want anyone to leave. That's what I really want.
Alright.
And I prefer to do this as myself, not as malediction. But that's all I really want there. Notice as she was doing this, she was kind of doing this with her arms in a way, like there.
Well, let's. Yeah. Lita goes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's be realistic here. There's no way. There's no possible way I'm ever leaving this city. I'm kind of tied to the hip at this point. My businesses are here. Family's here. If I were to leave this city after the war, it would look bad. It would look really bad.
Yeah.
But if that's what you want, I'll stay. And, you know, let's say we all come out of this. We all survive. If it helps, it makes you feel better. You always got a room at my place.
She hugged Lita. Ah.
And Lita.
She's gotta lean down right there.
Yeah, you gotta lean down, and Lita's gotta like.
Lita's what, like 4 foot nothing?
5'2".
Yep, Anaris is 6'3".
Yep. Yeah. I mean, Lita says, of course, that is willing we all survive, and that this entire city doesn't burn to the ground.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I took on a tank hand to hand. What it honestly felt like in that world, I was supposed to use a gun, but
I used a gun.
Never got the hang of a gun. I did use a sword occasionally, but that was just Johnny killing those people. I didn't do that.
Well,
I did level up Shinobu.
well, God willing, this is the last bit of fighting we're going to have to be doing for a long time.
That'd be nice.
Yep. Unless, of course, Enzo here gets too big for his fucking pants.
Yeah. Jesus. So many short kings here.
Lita is the shortest.
People are short.
Lita is the shortest person in the party.
Well, Ken's saying.
Well, no, Anaris is 2 inches taller than Burchill.
Oh, gotcha. That sounded weird.
Yeah.
And you can't teach that.
Anaris.
So I was just going to say, like, with the Cyberpunk stuff, I was going to make a Keanu Reeves in the head joke, but my dumb brain forgot his name for a second in my mind, and I thought Christopher Reeve. No, different Reeve.
That would have been very different.
Do not ride horses.
Like, that would have been awesome.
But we can't drag out his Christopher Reeve CGI corpse. We're not Warner Brothers.
We will parade your corpse for the masses, and you will love it!
Anaris.
Mhm.
I can't promise that I'll stay in Sanctuary. I have things I need to achieve. But make no mistake. I step up and I hug Anaris. You are still my daughter. And I will still always be there for you. No matter where I am, no matter where you are. You will always have me by your side. That's my promise for you.
I'll keep you to it.
Sounds good. Now, let's get me behind enemy lines and make sure I don't die.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Leave that as scene.
Yep.
All right. So, does anyone else have anything Jayson?
Rowan puts, as it gets later and all that stuff, Rowan puts out a call to everyone that he's going to have one last drink at the ruins of the Red Velvet Room.
I mean, you can't actually go into the Red Velvet Room because it's just a pile of rubble now, but you can just hang out outside.
Ruins! I am aware of that.
Put down a folding table out front. It's like, okay, we're ready.
Does anybody want to join Rowan for one last drink at the ruins of the Red Velvet Room?
Hell yeah!
Sounds good.
I mean, Burchill really drinks, but I'm going to be honest, Burchill's probably more sad that the Red Velvet Room's gone than his own actual house.
Yeah.
I mean, at least the Red Velvet Room went up defending the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Burchill has many memories of the Red Velvet Room. I mean, technically, it's the building where he made the best decision of his life.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. Well, more like you nat 20, the best decision of your life.
And what, we lived there for like 3 years?
Yeah.
In real time, not in game. I don't know. How much time has passed in game is unclear.
Mm-hmm.
2.5
Don't worry
years.
about that.
Hasn't it been like
I mean, my
20
sheet says Burchill's currently 32, so I get to spend 2 years.
Yeah.
We started in 2018 on Pathfinder?
Well, I'm saying in universe, it's been like 2
Yeah.
years.
I know that, but like you said 3 years out of universe, I'm like, I thought we started in 2018. It's been like almost 5.
Mm-hmm.
Good lord.
Yeah.
All right.
It may have been
So-
2017. I have to see the earliest version of Burchill's sheet.
Okay, so seeing as how we are doing this, I would like everybody. Actually no. In order to know what the DC is, I need to know this. What are you guys drinking?
Well,
Moonshine,
Rowan
obviously.
brought
Okay,
Rowan
so
brought
the DC
his
is going.
jug of blueberry raspberry brew.
Ooh, blueberry raspberry.
Oh, okay.
If that's the case,
And
Enzo's going to bring
Rowan brought.
Enzo's bring a couple bottles of moonshine that he has stashed away.
And Nox still has his.
Lita, I guess Lita would have gone into her houses, unlocked the door, and Lita's come out with 2 bottles of bourbon.
Okay, thank God you didn't get the 1 bottle of wine that's cursed.
So that would have been the great night for that.
Yeah.
Super old wine. Skill
Alright.
actually just splash
Oh.
of beer. Looks silly card.
Damn.
I tried that.
For context, because Zach wrote the crack fic, I actually gave a central plot point for that crack fic to Lita in universe. Basically, it's a wine that's pure aphrodisiac and will enhance the experience. Unfortunately, when you fall asleep afterwards, it also sends you to the realm of Sheagorath. So,
Don't ask questions.
For how long? For how long?
It's complicated.
so yeah, it starts out the best night of your life, but then it ends in the realm of madness. So,
We all just pull up
Yes.
to what? A nice wooden table outside the red velvet room. Is that what Rowan set up?
yeah.
Yeah, just like shifting things over, just like
I need every single one of you. The DC is going to be different for each of you because you're drinking different things. To roll me a Fortitude saving throw.
I don't have.
Although I suppose I should say any. God damn it!
nice.
Wait, Anaris is immune too. Fuck. Because yeah, Anaris is also immune to poisons, which means she's immune to the effects of alcohol. Fuck.
Oh no!
Here's my brew.
Damn.
Clean, I'm just drinking.
Fucking pure ethanol. So
I guess this would be the time for last words to each other before everything gets started next session. But I'll wait for
You guys ruining my boring life.
yep, what we do.
Hold on. So if we're gonna do this, Lita's gonna do it the right way.
Nice.
All right, so Rowan and Enzo make the first saving throw.
It would suck to be hungover for this mission, let me tell you.
Look, I've been hungover all day.
You know that clerics of the Church of Eternal Fire... Actually, no, Lesser Restoration cures hangovers. I just want to point that out.
Oh no, it'd be a shame if someone had that. But no, Enzo's been having a hangover all day.
But yeah, don't forget that.
Yeah,
I've had a
I'll pass out all my potions at this time, and also don't forget the spell resist one because that's going to be handy. That'll give you a plus 29.
Ken, what are you drinking?
Whatever Burchill's handed, because I don't know, he doesn't have
Moonshine.
alcohol in hand.
Enzo,
no.
a bottle of moonshine.
Burchill, you are drunk. Burchill, you are drunk. Actually, Charlie, what are you drinking?
Wine?
Okay, then you're fine.
Oh wow.
She's got a nice old vintage pulled out from a
Mine's got a high
family-
alcohol content,
Yeah, that's why it's the highest DC. So yeah, Burchill, you are drunk.
but in a good way.
Yeah, in a good way. Now, assuming that all of you are going to keep drinking, I need all of you to roll me another Fortitude saving throw.
Well, I mean, we
Oh, there's my
first.
I was
We're just having one drink.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Okay.
before that. I feel like this is more of a moment thing than just a drinking
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Zach, what are you drinking?
Bourbon. Straight bourbon.
It's all like we have one last glass to the red velvet room before we play
Yeah.
to hell tomorrow.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, Charlie, thank you for rolling, but you didn't need to because everyone was right. Yeah.
I miss my wife, Tails. I miss her a lot.
Burchill is gonna piss on the moon.
Oh my god.
Why do I imagine that at some point during this, Burchill is just going to go into the whole piss on the moon spiel?
You need to make him out the better. I was a bitch ass motherfucker.
And Lita,
I pissed on the moon, you idiot!
And Lita, unfortunately, you rolled just under the DC to remain to remain sober. So you are drunk.
Well, that's going to be the case.
Great, Lita's gonna get fascist.
No.
Oh boy, there it comes.
No.
Tell us how you really feel about the Skaven, Lita.
No.
But yes, Leah, you got drunk and started ranting about how this war is about states' rights.
I hate all of you.
States' rights to do what? States' rights to do what, Lita? States' rights to do what?
Lita, I didn't know you were so pro that. Like, whoa.
Well, no. Okay, if we're going to be honest here,
It's a thing she does every day.
No. If we're going to be honest here, I'm one of those assholes that believes that the Civil War started in 1823 when Missouri became a state.
Fucking Christ.
Frickin' Missouri.
My grandfather's from Missouri.
What's that?
Fun fact.
What's that meme where it's got the Maroon 5 singing? It's "I am in misery," and he's just by a sign of Missouri.
Missouri. No, it was my grandfather. Yeah. My grandfather got interviewed once. No, okay. All right, just.
I was gonna say I'm related to Robert E. Lee.
Oh.
Actually, pretty cool.
There we go. Here's the.
German by marriage.
Oh.
My ancestors came over on the boat to fight on behalf of the British to keep the colonists in line.
Oh.
Yeah.
There we go. This is what I was looking
Well
for.
then, cheerio, Zach.
Hessian mercenaries.
Oh.
But we liked it so much we stayed.
These colonists ain't so bad.
It's not so bad.
But yeah, with everyone having a tipsy drink, I think Nox will say, "Has anybody got any final words before we get ready for tomorrow?"
Oof. This isn't last rites. Don't curse us to death so quickly.
It's not. It's not a jinx. It's just assurance.
Yes, I mean, if you were, I probably would prefer a last meal than a last drink.
Oh man.
Well,
It's a funny thing. I actually know how to cook pretty damn good, but I never had the opportunity to actually make any of y'all a meal.
And unfortunately, all of your good food has been rationed out as per your orders, so you can't really have a nice last meal at this time.
Well, I guess if we all survive this, or at least if you survive this one, and another one of us, when this is all over, you could do that.
Let's see. Hey,
don't turn us into something.
go ahead.
By you saying it, I'm not expecting it to turn into.
Well, I never cooked with it before, but I've always been curious of what dragon tastes like.
Oh damn it! Now I do too.
I imagine dragon tastes like fish. I have no idea why, and I have no basis for that. That's just what I imagine.
But
Maybe-
I would assume, maybe whatever any lizard tastes like. I don't know. I've never eaten a lizard.
Coincidentally, Nox, you have eaten lizards, so you would be able to answer this question.
It's more of a... It's like what you would combine bread and fish together.
That's weird.
I mean, and I'm going to take this out of my real life experience. I did have frog's legs once, where the person on my crew claimed, "Oh, it tastes just like chicken." No, it tasted more like clams.
Ugh.
I mean, I've had frog fiend before, and I don't think they compare.
Compressor Razor.
Oh, that was a PM.
But I hope, all of you tomorrow, just be careful, all right? Just do as we've always done, and let's see if we can cook that dragon up. And I just like to say, these last, 2 or 3 years, John?
Hold on, Zach PM'd me.
Or how many years it's been, just thanks for your assistance.
Mhm.
And everything.
Don't worry about the exact number of years.
And I'm sorry if I sorry for just being me on many occasions.
Oh. If that's the last word.
Well, I'm waiting for other people to say stuff because
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's being quiet.
Well, we might all die tomorrow, so.
Lita's sitting on her pile of bricks.
Gabrielle, anything?
I would also like to remind you, Zach, that you still have that one brick that you were going to shove up Fenharel's ass. So if you want to give it to one of the two people who might actually have the chance to do it.
Oh no,
I'm
she
not
just
shoving a
shoved.
brick up Venderell's ass.
No, she said she was going to shove this brick down his throat.
Well, I mean,
Oh, okay, that's different.
two of your party members might have the chance to actually do that.
No, Lita's gonna.
Lita's gonna what?
All right.
No,
Lita's
not
going
gonna-
to what?
No, she's just sitting on her pile of bricks, waiting for other people to talk.
All right. Okay.
Well, Nox has said his piece, hoping you guys live through this, and apologizing. What do you got? Anybody else got anything?
Could be worse. We could be storming Arasaka Tower.
How bad is that?
I dreamed about doing it once, but I did it solo.
Doesn't necessarily answer the question.
Well, you ain't.
90% of you would be dead.
Is
Well,
that a hard 90% or give or take?
Yeah. Like,
Oh wait,
would have killed you.
but wait, 90%. But there's only 7 of us, so like what? Would some of us be mostly dead?
You would live, but
Well,
would not live well.
well, you ain't alone. So there's that.
Yep.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
no,
guess.
with my math, one of us would be 0.7% alive.
Gabrielle's got, like, her will and order and everything, just in case. But,
Well, at least one of you planned that far in advance.
I mean, I assume Burchill would have, or just had the basic, okay, if I die, my family gets the foundation, Margarita gets the, Mary Mermaid, though, I mean, that one he's probably going to give to her anyways after the war's done, because Burchill has a family, he won't have time to run 2 businesses.
And now you have more money to give them.
yeah. Gabrielle says, even if I don't make it, rest assured, House Lion Court will take care of all of you, and you needn't want for money, so as long as my family is around, and we've been around for a long time, and even if I'm gone and my brother's gone, there are others who will step forward to take our place.
Oh boy. Oh, Bill, huh? You know, probably for the most of us, but what was the last time any of us thought about leaving something behind? A will. I've always lived on the knife's edge. Just never thought about actually dying before.
Honestly, since I met a lot of you, I've been updating my will at least once a month.
That's a very rational thing to do.
Sure.
Lita snickers
I
into
mean-
her glass.
I mean, a lot of the wealth I'm getting will be after the war between Dante and my father-in-law, but, I mean, it should be simple. Delilah gets the foundation, and Margarita the Merry Mermaid. Like, I guess I'm now repeating that by character
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Rowan, what about you? You got a will set up for what you got?
I'm going to say at this time, Jayson, you would have given that letter to Soreza.
Well, the right thing. Gonna give it if there's a reason to, I'm gonna pass it on to victims who fortunately aren't in the city anymore. But
technically speaking, I've already died before, and if any inheritance I had already went out all those years ago. But if I should die now, just let the Stilichnians know they can have the moonshine recipe. Do with it what they please.
Oh, they better. I cannot fathom going life without this drink anymore.
Well, I mean, they already know how to brew it, but just let them know it's all theirs. Like, ain't gonna do me any good.
Yeah.
Nothing else I can leave behind but that.
I can't leave anything behind at this point. If I die tomorrow, everyone I care about dies with them.
Well,
about an insurance policy.
The insurance policy is don't die. That's got me through this. It's got me this far so far.
yeah.
Delilah gets Walpole.
No.
Hattori gets my money.
Yep. I guess I'll have to raise 2 kids at that point, huh?
Yeah.
You know, just take a step back and look where we are after 3 years. Like, the majority of you I met in a cave cornered by elves, and I set some asshole on fire. And we came here with different goals and dreams of grandeur, and now look at us. Do you think we would have, our past selves would have ever thought we'd be here right now?
Oh, hell no.
Absolutely not. I came into the city, met you all, and started blackmailing you.
I'm
just a
sure the
city guard.
meme. I'm pretty sure the meme from at that time was like a meme now, and just not even for a second think I was the same person.
I passed into wondering why the hell I'm still here.
To be fair, my goal was to basically come here, become the madam of a very successful whorehouse, and then die at some point, fat, rich, and happy.
I think you overshot there.
Piece of debris falls over in the background.
Yeah, that actually does happen now that you say it.
It's all led to this moment, but after tomorrow, no matter what, we gotta get through it, and anybody else, those that make it through, just make sure you live happily. Can you all do that?
Well, that's if we don't get all court-martialed or excommunicated or whatnot once this war is over for all the shit we did.
Gabrielle just kind of goes, raises her glass and takes a big drink.
Well, it's not like there's any crimes for war.
The Geneva Convention doesn't exist here.
To your response, Nox, Lita looks at you and goes, if I survive this, I've got to go home and raise a kid. And I guarantee you that in 10 years' time, I'm going to have at least 3 more children. Not
much. I'm gonna be a desk jockey after this war's over. Gotta solidify my position as Archbishop and then get out of Dodge into the capital. Go be Pope. Yes, a cardinal first.
Lita kind of actually leans back. She goes, "Oh, I gotta stick around. I've kind of laid too many roots here. I'm fine with that, because I never shared this with any of you, but I'm deathly afraid of the open ocean."
So wait, when you were out on that boat by yourself the other day with the white-haired lady.
Oh no, that was fine. We were in a harbor. I'm talking like the open sea. I am vastly terrified of open water with no land in sight.
That's a smart fear to have. You wouldn't believe the things that lie beneath.
Well,
Since
I
you're,
mean,
since you're a monster, you know what's that there.
as someone who spent 16 years on a boat, I can't really relate.
well, the last time I was on a boat, we got attacked by the Syrians, and yeah, I watched 38 men drown.
I mean, last time I was a boat, I was tied up and thrown off it, but hey.
I was also 12. So.
Fair enough.
The Syrians.
Yeah, now I'm fighting on their behalf.
I lit a boat on
Can't say
fire.
I've been through anything like that on a boat, but I do get seasick.
Mm.
Yes, the ocean is full of horrible monsters, including this one.
Wait, when did you burn a boat?
Yes, especially this one.
What?
I was hanging out with a rock star, and he wanted to burn down his agent's boat.
Oh.
A rock star?
Oh.
Like, he was...
Yeah, he was having a concert on the moon when I called him.
Oh, it's like a musician.
They're made of rock? I thought the whole thing in that world was metal.
Yeah, that's just what they called them, was rock stars.
It's actually quite similar music to what Lita plays, just pointing that out.
Yeah.
Rock star. It's got a ring to it.
Yeah.
Lita takes another sip of her drink and goes, "Okay, look, I call it Stone and Biscuit. Thank you very much."
Okay.
But no, Lita. Yeah.
Yeah, Lita, that's the monstrosities that await in the ocean that she fears.
Oh no, it's more that she has a fear of drowning.
I know, but it's like, just look at that adorable little octopus.
If we all survive this, by the way, you're all invited to my wedding. When that eventually happens.
I didn't know. Out of character, I didn't realize you weren't officially married to Tori.
So the kid's like, wait a minute, so you had a child out of wedlock?
I know, I'm a terrible mother.
Yes, shame on you, you sinner.
I'm 20. Lita goes. Lita drunkenly stands up and goes, "Look at me! I'm 25 and the mother of 2 children. Oh God, the humanity!"
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, I think Lita's done. Alright.
oh my god. Group, you know what?
Let's bring it down.
Enzo stands up, pounds back his moonshine. It's like, alright. Since you're all monsters and sinners and heretics in the name of the Creator, I'll bless us for tomorrow's battle.
Holy man.
Dear Lord, the Creator, you done fucked up sending us Lita. But we appreciate the gesture. Thank you for sending Samuel. He is much better.
Fuck you! I didn't come here by choice. My mother abandoned me. Well, to be fair, my mother abandoned me because apparently she points to the sky. Apparently that fucking thing killed my mother.
Yeah, well, it'll probably kill us too. But besides the point.
Not if I have my way with it.
Well, then
It was established. You can't kill it. You can only send it back.
well, then, Lita, then in the name of my mother, Lucifer, shove a stick up its ass.
I'll try.
I mean, you're kind of doing that.
Alright.
Nope.
Alright. Our Lord the Creator, by the power of the eternal fire, I bless these idiots, these friends, with the fortitude to survive tomorrow's challenges. So that we may all come back and die by Noxus cooking.
Die of delight.
Amen. Amen.
All right. Meanwhile, across the city, Madeline and the High Elf Archer are unwinding in their own way.
Wait, what? What the fuck?
Wait, who?
Why are they just dancing? Like, oh, they're drunk too?
They're unwinding in their own way.
Fuck it, everyone just dancing the night away.
Well, Lita, I do have one more thing. Well, seeing as this is probably the last time we might be seeing each other alive, Lita reaches behind a pile of bricks and pulls out her guitar. It's not much of a tavern if we don't have some music.
Roll me a performance check.
Alright, hold on. YouTube, why you be... Oh yeah, because they're trying to actively kill my ad block.
All you have to do is just purge the cache on your ad block and then just restart it and it fixes it.
Alright, hold on.
But yeah, Temme, is that an actual blessing we got, or is that just something for a story?
No, that was just Enzo
Okay.
I do have a legitimate spell, but it works better for an army.
And if Chaos can be waiting in the wings just in case, I'd appreciate it.
Alright, Zach, roll me that performance check.
Lita drunk, she rolled a 1.
So what song do you play, and what does it end up sounding like?
Well, what she was trying to play...
But what came out was...
Screw it. Rowan pulls out his harmonica and joins.
I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna give the entire party Bardic Inspiration for the next upcoming battle if Lita rolled good. Unfortunately, you lost that, and you can't get it back.
We got laughter. Don't worry, that's all.
Yeah.
Good times. I can
Okay.
go into my the empty moonshine jar. Boom, boom, boom.
Rowan, for the first time in your life, you are a better musician than Lita.
The only time in your life.
It'll never happen again.
I point out Rowan going ham
So-
on harmonica, and I go, "What do they call that in the other world?" To Anaris, like him on the harmonica.
Prison music?
Mike?
Bluegrass music.
Yeah.
Because Rowan's playing good on his harmonica, like hamming it up with a 20. So I'm pointing at him and I ask, "What do they call that in the other world?"
Country. It's not really good.
So, with all of that said and done, you guys enjoy your last night together, knowing that in the morning you'll probably die. But then eventually, you do have to get some rest, and the morning comes. Now, what happens next? We're going to do this in stages. So when I say that there's a scene transition, we'll be switching to a different group of characters.
Okay.
So, first off, Rowan, you have to ride up and call out Fenhorel. How are you going to do this?
Well, first, before we leave the city, turn to the guys, the soldiers. They'll be coming with me. As we're about to go out the gate and all that stuff. He just stops and looks at them all. Alright, boys and girls, we're about to do something incredibly stupid. Anyone has half... Sorry, Rochelle just walked in. Alright. If anyone has half a brain, you're free to back out with no judgment. If you pull this off, we'll end Fenrir's racist little tantrum. Last chance, what's your choice? Looking at all the soldiers.
No one
Anyone
leaves.
leave?
No one leaves.
Good, because-
They all stay. I rolled for them.
Rowan goes, good, because I was lying. I judged the hell out of you. Let's show this bastard how big of a mistake he made coming here, and then he leads them out.
All right. So how do you lead them out? Like, what do you do? Because this is your moment. How do you make it count?
Are they invisible behind me now? Did we decide on that?
Once they leave the city, they do become invisible behind you. At this point, even you can't see them.
And we hooked up that speaker thing, right, for Rowan? I remember that was part of the...
Yeah.
If you want that to be the case, then yes, you.
Don't forget your stack of heads.
Oh, as soon as he's walking, Rowan starts, like, hitting, like, Cat's Grace, Haste.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, sure.
The stuff Nox gave him.
Mm-hmm.
As he walks out, arms up like that. Like,
oh, you're walking. You're not even on a horse. Okay.
Well, the horse is dead. I'm still not over it. Gabrielle, I'm sick of this. You think you're superior, you think you're a god, but Sanctuary's still standing. If an inept little wannabe conqueror like you thinks he can rule the elves, then you know what? I'm throwing my hat in the ring. I've got Frostbane. I've stood against every attack against these walls, killed every single one of your agents, shows the heads.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say this half-blooded son of a servant has just as much right to your damned crown as any other pointy ear. Want to shut me up? Let's end this right now, man to man, you racist, deluded psychopath. Come on!
All right.
And every
Cutting
elf is
to-
hearing that.
Oh my god,
Cutting
that
to-
was actually the greatest thing ever.
You came into his house and called him a bitch. He cannot not.
Yeah.
All right. So cutting to.
Rowan, internally, Rowan's like, oh, I'm gonna die.
Also, wait, before we do, where is Ermine? Who's she with? We forgot about her.
Ermine is going to be leading the charge.
Okay, cool.
Because Lord Lioncourt is going to be taking care of the dragon, and Admiral Trevelyan is going to be on the ships. Once the barrier is down, they're basically going to be bombarding the hell out of the camp. But so yeah, Ermine is going to be leading the charge once it happens. But yes, we transition to Lita and Enzo. Enzo, you are currently being led up in handcuffs, which have been purposely left unlocked, but nobody knows that. But by the High Elf Archer from Goblin Slayer. Now,
for the sake of having it nearby, the High Elf Archer has my sword.
that's fair. Now, and Lita, you and the other members of Goblin Slayer's party are all invisible. If correct?
Yes,
Right.
I have downed my potion. I have downed all my I basically made my potions into a sports drink.
So basically what happens is that very briefly the High Elf Ultra has set up a raft with a rope and just throws a rope to the other side, and she's just it looks like it's just her and Enzo on the raft, but like the rest of you are on there too, just invisible, and she's just pulling it across, and then like as soon as you get to the other side of the Holy Water River, like a bunch of different types of devils see her, and it is. I will say this, like, you don't need to roll, but it is terrifying to see so many of these creatures just converge on this one location. However, as they're there, the High Elf Archer raises her hand, just like, shh. I have come bearing a gift for Fenrirel. I have seen what he is capable of. I have seen what these pitiful humans are capable of. I know what the outcome of this conflict is going to be. I wish to defect, and to show my loyalty, I come bearing gifts.
Troy.
The devils are all silent. However, they do look around to see whether or not it's not a trick. And And then one of them says something in infernal, which I don't believe any of you can understand, to someone off in the distance, and then an elven scout actually walks up and appears, and he just says, "All right, we'll see if you're telling the truth, but no, but no, but know that if you lie to us, the consequences will be severe." And he holds out a hand, which the High Elf Archer takes as he lets her in. Transitioning to Burchill and okay, so, yeah, this would be Burchill and Gabrielle. So how are you guys doing this? Is Gabrielle going to be on the back of Horus with Burchill while they're big, or is Gabrielle going to be on the grounds with her brother and the other knights?
Good question. If I'm going to be the one injecting Horus, then I have to be on Horus, but I don't know if there's a benefit to me being there otherwise.
Well, also,
The only
potion as well that lasts 17 hours. So even if you fall off or if you want to move
Oh, yeah.
around, you don't have to stay in one spot.
Yeah,
That's
the
true.
only benefit to being on Horus's back is that you'll have a better view of the battlefield and can more, I guess, make better decisions because you'll see what's going on, and yeah, like I said.
Yeah, okay. I'll be on Horus then, I guess.
But yeah, make sure
Okay,
you
so-
and Burchill both take your flying potions as well. Don't forget those.
Yep.
Last 17
Okay,
hours.
so now Burchill, what are you and Horus doing right now to, I guess for the moment, lay low and wait until Fen'Harel arrives with the dragon?
I mean, I guess just be in a hidden spot and wait till the dragon shows up.
Okay. So I'm gonna say for the sake of this, the easiest place for you to hide would be like, actually, strangely enough, right where your token is, because that's behind the line of all the invisible soldiers, and it's like right next to the water, so like no one actually sees you there, not yet.
Well, also you can take the
And it's
all of you can take the invisibility potion too.
Well, that's not necessary at this time because Lady Barra is hiding all the soldiers, which will include Burchill and Gabrielle since they're there too. Now, I would also like to point out at this time that Lord Lioncourt and his 3 knight friends have basically rolled out on carts like four more of those ballistas with those special spears that will down the dragon. Because, yeah, like, Burchill's going to shoot the first one, drag the dragon over to the others, and then they're going to shoot the rest and bring it down. So that is currently being set up. They are merely waiting for the cue. No. It was like, Nox.
Mm-hmm.
You
Token.
you don't necessarily have to move it anywhere for right now. I just want you to tell me where you are and where you're going to be waiting for this Leviathan to appear.
Well, I mean, we have a general idea where it's at, so me and Sammy and Loki are gonna just, I guess, wherever is advantageous. Well, I mean, we can all fly, right?
Yeah. So
I
actually am going to say
we should all be invisible and in the air if we can all fly. That way, it's like once we see it, we don't have to go from ground to top. Like we're observing the scene, but then waiting for the thing to show up.
just like now. So I'm going to say is like the two of you start on Sanctuary's wall and look up, and you're about to take flight. But before you do, Dante, in full armor, no, so his helmet's obscuring his face, which also distorts his voice a little bit. So he actually says to you, "This might feel a little strange, but don't worry, it won't harm you." And then with that, you watch as Dante, with a hand, just reaches into your coat and then just disappears into it. He has gone into the shadows of your clothes.
Okay then.
Samael actually at this point says to you, I do not feel comfortable with the idea of taking on this beast with 2 abominations, but If th- if this is the fate that Father has chosen for me, I will not run from it.
I'll take it.
By the way,
in a storm, and I've been hunting monsters my whole life, so this is something I think I was always working towards.
if you do intend to do this, you're going to need this. And Samael actually just does this in your direction, and you suddenly feel empowered in some way as Samael casts the haste spell on you.
Ooh. Better write that down
So
so I don't forget.
now, no sooner does Samael do that Samael just unfurls her own wings, which are bigger than Lita's, and then it's almost like jet engines. You just hear this a thundering roar come from the tips of her wings, and Samael doesn't even turn invisible. She just takes off, and it's not like Lita does when she just flies around. Like, this is like a full Superman takeoff. She's just like. Mm-hmm.
Yes, noxious things. A couple hundred years. I guess anybody could probably do that. I'm downing my invisibility potion, but also I'm enhancing my own stuff, like my own cocktail, because I'm gonna need the strength in order to hammer these in.
Mm-hmm. And also, thanks to Samael's haste spell, that is literally the only reason you're able to keep up with him as
I figured.
as Samael flies up, because Samael is fast. Like, she moves faster than, I don't know what an equivalent of this world would be, but she moves with about the speed of an F-17.
And Nox, meanwhile, has got his pupils dilated and is flapping even faster.
Mm-hmm. So you're up there. You get close, and as you get close to where you think this thing might be, you can smell it in the air. The smell of sulfur. And as you get closer, this place starts to reek of sulfur.
Nox just says a little prayer to himself, like, "Dire bloods, say a prayer for me."
And as you finish that thought, off in the distance, you see the clouds move, and you see part of it. And I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm not going to be able to make a map for your fight with this creature, considering this thing is literally as big as the city, so we are going to have to theater of the mind it.
I figured.
I mean, a map of this thing would basically just be you on it. Like, it would be the whole map.
I know. But now I gotta fight all his dandruff.
Alright, so. Switching back to Rowan. So,
Sorry, I'm adding all my enhancements.
You've downed all your stuff.
But I know, I'm adding, so I'm physically adding them all real quick.
Yeah, he's gotta put them all on paper.
Yeah, it might be a good idea for you guys to do that now, so that when we get to the next session, it's already there. Mm-hmm. But yes,
just why I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, so Jayson, at first nothing appears to happen. Everything is silent. But then suddenly, hold on. I was gonna do this myself, but I know I would be terrible at it.
What?
So, let's see. Well, hold on. That one is shit. That's a good one.
And don't forget all your spell resistance potions, everybody. Those will give you plus 29.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Jayson, just from the fog in front of you, you hear this sound. Mm-hmm.
Someone's like, "Oh, yep, you heard that."
And
gets Frostbane ready.
Mm-hmm. and at that, suddenly the clouds in the air abruptly part as Fenhorel rides out on his black dragon. Circles in the air above you, as if just seeing how brazen you are, and then just has the dragon land in front of you. I'm actually roll a fortitude saving throw, because a literal 2-ton beast just landed in front of you. The ground is shaking.
Don't forget all your fortitude bonuses from all this.
I'm finishing it right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna make you boys strong.
Mm-hmm.
Fortitude?
Yes.
Screw me on this. That's a 39.
Yeah. You don't even flinch as this dragon lands right in front of you. Yeah, this dragon lands right in front of you.
Oh yeah, you took all of it?
And
all of
You're
it!
currently also double your height now, too.
mm-hmm. So,
Rowan was only 5'9", so it's not as impressive as you might think it is.
Alright.
But don't forget, your weapon also does 1 die damage above it, so if it's a D6, it goes to a D8. And so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Good lord. Alright.
But yeah, like, as the dragon lands in front of you and just stares at you for a moment, as if trying to intimidate you. However, this only lasts for about 10 seconds before Fenhorel basically like undoes his safety belt and gets off of the dragon. It's like, you are an abomination. One born of hubris and the suffering of my people. Know then that I take your life, not out of hatred, but out of mercy. You should never have existed. This world should never have existed. It belongs to us. You shall be the first step in correcting our mistakes. As you watch as he reaches out and draws his own sword, and like yours, the blade is made of ice.
Rowan just nods. Has his helmet, Rowan nods, goes, alright. What I had said, you said what you had to say. Puts his helmet on.
You should have just responded.
Get it over with.
You actually then watch as Fenhorel just waves a hand over himself, and suddenly his size increases to match your height.
Ooh. He got his ankles.
Now, cutting to Enzo, Lita, and wait, where is Anaris? Is Anaris still doing the airdrop?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Invisible.
I have a dropping song for her too.
Okay, so you are in the air above Rowan and Fenhorel. That's actually really good to know. So,
I believe she can fly.
As the elf scout finishes pulling the high elf archer through, she then pulls Enzo through, and then as soon as Enzo is through, I imagine the way you're doing this is like Enzo is like holding Lita, or like somebody is like holding on to like Enzo's shoulder, so they like go with him when he passes through the barrier.
Yep.
So conga line. So as soon as all of you are through, the high elf archer pulls out a knife and stabs the scout in the neck. It is at this point that I know it's early, but I want to make this count as much as possible. So, end session.